Hello, hello. Okay. The second I hit start stream, I was like, I really have to go to the bathroom, so that had to happen. Just adjust my microphone a little bit. There we go. Performance window. All the fun stuff that makes the stream happen. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, well, for some reason I can't mouse back onto my second screen when I play this game, so that's just gonna be where it is. So where we last left off, I believe we just finished cycle 3 and plot things happened. Basically, things are getting all fucky. Good morning, everyone. We are at the mercy of the stars, and none can say how soon they'll shine for us again. Let us recover for a while at Midnight Alcove and decide how to proceed. Or Moonlight Alcove? Did I say midnight? Whatever. Close enough. Thus make yourselves as comfortable as possible here for the time, Nightwings. The rites ought to commence again before we know it. Until then, be well. Thus, you and your companions remain on the mountaintop, waiting for the stars to shine again. The cycle of the rites is ending. The news that Volfred and the lone minstrel reveal to you now threatens to disrupt the group's resolve. Who most deserves their freedom? Can there be any hope for your revolutionary plan to change the Commonwealth if too few exiles manage to return? These questions hang like a fog over you and your companions as you linger there on Mount Alodil. For now, the exiles of the Nightwings vow to stick together, for as many opportunities as they shall have. Many moons pass. Also, my microphone filters are going great because my phone just like blew up and it apparently did not catch any of it. So unfortunately, you don't get to hear the Song of Storms and I won't get copyrighted when I uploaded this on YouTube. One cold evening, Volfred finds you off on your own. Well, my girl, it's time once more, come see. Volfred indicates the sky, and through the snow, you see that he is right. Soon, all of your companions are gathered. Volfred regards the group in his steady manner. As you all know, I have refrained from participating in the rites myself. This was a long-held choice of mine for a variety of reasons. Chief among those reasons is so that I may direct our plan, free from unwanted attention, both from our adversaries here and those who would oppose us in the Commonwealth. Another reason is my past experience conducting the rites. It did not end on good terms. Before my time, the Nightwings comprised 3 exiles, Brighton, Erisa, and Oralech. Little Tizo was with them as well, still learning in their ways. Who the hell is Brighton? A former exile of the Nightwings who conducted the rites alongside Oralech and Erisa. Yeah. Oralech is like really hot, sorry. After Brighton regained his freedom in the Liberation Rites, the Nightwings took me in. A story for another time, but for one thing, I had capacity to read the ancient book. Anyway, when next we earned our way into the Liberation Rite, Oralech was anointed for return. He had long been in exile, and his horns were beginning to show. We prevailed. Little Tizo snuffed the Accusers' pyre, thus Oralech earned his freedom. However, just as the Shimmer Pool was to engulf him, Erisa, she shoved him from the precipice and took her freedom in his stead. She perished, of course. Only the anointed can transcend the Shimmer Pool. But she thought the warnings were a myth and paid the price. She was always restless. I presumed Oralech perished too. To survive a fall from Mount Aladil, I was left alone. Subsequently, I made no attempts to reassemble the Nightwings, knowing that such treachery, such harm was even possible as part of this ordeal. I, frankly, still do not hold Erisa entirely at fault for what transpired. I hold instead the Commonwealth responsible for what put us in this desperate situation. And I resist the urge to think the Rites may partly be to blame, as well, for pitting brother against brother, sister against sister. Now I see that Oralech yet lives, at a time when our plan is already in motion. And even the stars are fading. Perhaps a signal that the Scribes themselves know that the Nightwings are divided, and they do not approve. But I choose to take it as a sign that we must act. The Scribes have put us in a set of circumstances where each one of us may rise to the occasion. The Nightwings and our plan need all the help they can get, and so I have made a decision which I wish to announce here to you all. In the name of the Nightwings, and reader, by your leave, I would conduct the rites again. Long have my skills languished in the matter, I admit, although I trust I shall regain them soon enough. While I once vowed never to conduct the rites again, our present situation calls for all our resources to be brought to bear. So if I may be of use during the rites to come, I shall avail myself. That's all. Now then, our reader shall determine where we are headed come first light. Volfred bows his head to everyone. While the others exchange looks, then, one by one, salute him in turn. Volfred stands ready to conduct the rites again. Welcome him back into the ranks. Once more do several stars shine bright in the night sky, revealing several paths for you to pursue towards salvation. Okay, who's up? So right now in the Liberation we'll be fighting the Liberation Rite will be fighting the Essence unless we can beat them. Let's see here. We'll see who we get. Be the Chastity, the Accusers, or the Tempers. Huh. I forget who his... Let's see, who do we have? I kind of want to do the Tempers. And then I'm going to bring Jodariel along. For reasons. I see it's time we met again with Ignarius and the Tempers. We can make for the Hulk of Ores at first light, my girl. Let us recover through the night for now. It is too late to do much else. Do I have any downberries in here? I do not. Oh god, there's more pages in the book. Afterward. Interesting. A list of terms which you may wish to know. As an exile of the downside, as reader of this book, and as conductor of the rites, you are engaged now in a cycle which has lasted since the dawn of this age. Here within this part of the book is offered a summary of all key figures, locales, terms, and astral phenomena you shall encounter, either firsthand or in passing on your path. To know the history of the downside and the rites is to prepare yourself to walk the path toward enlightenment, and then to liberty itself. Should you be free again, remember, reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Oh god, I have pages and pages and pages. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of these just because that's boring. Who wants to hear me read from a dictionary? But I will... Wait, does it really? Can I really only inspect one page at a time? Even though there's like... Okay. Yeah, I'll just put that up for a second. Yeah, this just lists, I guess, all of the, various terms you might have seen around. It's kind of dumb I can't inspect this page, like what? Apparently I can just hit Y as a shortcut though, so that's cool. Yeah, that looks like all the pages. Oh cool, it actually gives us Volfred's history. I think he told us this. So yeah, his crime was publishing for owning and operating a stamping press, using it to spread anti-Commonwealth propaganda. Motive: insurrection, years exiled 9. By day, he was an unassuming history professor. By night, he operated a small but illegal stamping press of his own design, which he used to disseminate provocative ideas concerning how a truly peaceful Commonwealth might look. When his underground press was at last discovered, it was publicly destroyed. Eventually, he too was found and cast down. In the downside, he was taken in by the Nightwings, who sought someone with his experience. Since then, he hatched a long-term plan to recruit like-minded individuals who might stand together to usher in a new age for the Commonwealth. So yeah, they had, he and Bertha were like comrades in that. But she's been exiled a lot longer, so I guess he, like, escaped notice for longer. But she basically made the ink that he printed his books with. Wait, we gotta talk to Sandra. No, can't talk to Sandra, never mind. Continue.
I do so hate to thusly contact you, O reader.
And don't.
Yet an awful rumor reached me recently that you have within your retinue a traitor.
Cry about it.
To the Nightwings and the Commonwealth alike. But you would never harbor such a traitor, now would you? I trust your time within the downside would have taught you that.
Hey, Rose! You rise after a fitful night of slumber. Somehow, the voice, which thus far has reached you only in the rites, has found its way into your sleep as well. You shake free of it. The time at Moonlight Alcove has made everyone restless. The group is eager to set forth at your command. Did you miss my recap of what happened? I can explain. Okay, so basically, hold on. As the wagon soars across the skies above Wakingwood, you notice Volfred appears lost in thought. You cannot sense straight away what he is thinking. I almost just like burst into song there. Do not mind me, reader. It is simply that being here in this vicinity, it brings back a lot of memories and gives me much to ponder. I hid within those woods for many, many years, making preparations for our plan. I cast aside my raiments and became untraceable. There I waited for the plan to germinate. So it means a lot now to be here above that place at last. Quite the view, wouldn't you say, my girl? Okay, so basically what happened is, we just finished Cycle 3 last stream. And so the plot of this game is that you have these rites, and then you're exiled from this great place, quote-unquote great, and through the rites you can kind of regain your freedom, right? Okay, so Volfred has a plan for basically glorious rebellion. And to do that, you need to send your people up and liberate them. And then, out of nowhere, Volfred's old friend came back, and now the rites are ending because he couldn't resist fucking with things. So now we're on a timer. Is that an imp? What are you doing, buddy? I'm gonna hit these guys. You can hear the angry hissing coming from Udmildhe all the way from your position. You think mayhaps the skies belong to ye. Foolish. The skies and everything above them and below belong to the astral born. Ye shall be smitten from his skies on his awakening. Now be gone. They're called like bog crones or something. Okay, I can talk to Jodi, I can talk to Tizo, or I can talk to Volfred, and we're gonna talk to Jodi. Because I really want to send Jodi home. But I haven't been sending her home until after I get her history. There. Volfred appears to have finished sealing some sort of document. He smiles as he approaches you. Hello, my girl. Was just on my way out to make a drop. Report a bit of progress. Our supporters on the other side should like to know. It is not clear to you as yet exactly how Volfred is able to communicate with agents in the Commonwealth. We have our ways of making certain that such messages manage to make their way to whom they need to reach. Most of the time, at least. It is not exactly the most dignified of methods, but the messenger imp is as hardworking as the rest of us, or dare I say, more so. Aw, it's so cute. Most imps lack the capacity to do that job. They of course cannot traverse the outer boundaries of the downside, but they can squeeze much closer than any of us. Volfred offers to tell you more of this process. It seems that he has been using certain imps to relay messages to his agents in the Commonwealth for some time now. From that point, we depend on certain other means. A trafficker like Rukey would likely be familiar with them. Then my agents intercept the messages as they arrive. The messages are coded, in the off chance they reveal themselves before unwanted eyes, but even still, my agents put themselves in great peril there, supporting our cause and our plan. I could not ask for a more dedicated bunch. A shame we cannot meet them, separated as we are. If we succeed in our endeavors, it shall be thanks in no small part to them. They have identified hundreds of citizens grown loyal to our cause, found hidden corners where they can speak freely. Their goal is to grow in numbers while remaining safe. For now, we cannot resist the Commonwealth if too few citizens stand with us, whether due to apathy or fear or lack of willingness to see our nation as we do. Some of these agents I have known for many, many years, since long before my exile. Many were former students from my days of teaching Commonwealth doctrine. It was clear then who among us did not take the common view. These days, I report to them our progress, and they in turn report theirs back. From that assessment, I update the estimation of our planned success. Our chances of success increase substantially each time we liberate one of our own. But those loyal to us in the Commonwealth slowly gather strength, regardless, knowing our efforts. Thus we do inspire each other, not unlike the dynamics which I see among the Nightwings here. Now, good afternoon then, reader. I have a delivery to make. He strides out the wagon bearing the sealed message. That was a lot of talk. Search for valuables. You and Jodariel spend much of the day searching through the immeasurable depths of the fathomless trench until at last... There, I see something. You found coral bits. It should fetch a decent price. 74, nice. I was doing that in the hopes that Jodi would talk to me about her history so I can finally send her home. Because I'm trying not to send people home until we get their history so we can actually, like, see it. The wagon comes to a sudden stop after a near miss with someone or something that got right in its path. At first you see no sign of whomever or whatever it was, but then A voice rings out from off to the side of your path. The friendly yet somehow aggravating tone leaves little room for you to question who it is. Hey guys, so maybe watch where you're going a bit more next time, I guess? You must have scared Dad half to death. I mean, just look at him. Yeah, he looks real scared. But it's good running into you like this because I got for you a really special deal. We've got some pretty out there stuff on hand and it's just been slowing us a bit. So, to be completely honest here, something about him, I don't know, but Dad just hasn't been himself. But once we open shop, why, these little numbers, they're gonna go flying off the shelves and you can have first dibs. All you gotta do is give us a lift because you're headed to the Hulk of Ores, right? Just drop us off when you get there, okay? The Black Wagon does not provide for you the most spacious accommodations, but it may have enough room for Falk and Ron, barely, at least for the short remainder of your trip. On the other hand, you sense a troubling energy from whatever strange artifacts he is transporting right now, and wonder whether you should get involved. I think what happens is, if you give him a lift, you get like some negative hits to your stats. But he's at the next place, and then if you don't give him a lift, he like doesn't show up to your next fight. Let's say tell him sorry. I feel bad though. Falcon Ron seems not to be in any real danger. You express your regrets while explaining to him that there is simply no available room in the Black Wagon at this time. Oh, okay guys, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do and stuff, and so I guess Dad and I will be seeing you around, okay? And as for these thingers I picked up, now don't you be surprised if they're all out of stock when you visit me next time, okay? Because I can't hold them in reserve for you. They're way too popular right now. He waves you away. Now come on, Dad, put your back into it already. We ain't got that far. At least one of your fellow exiles breathes a sigh of relief as you prepare to set forth again. When you arrive at the Hulk of Ores, you observe the slug market is nowhere to be found. For once, it seems you have arrived at your destination sooner than Falconron. Yes, I think you can actually use the shop, but I don't really need to buy anything from him anyways. Please be Jodi. Reveal your secrets. You find Jodariel seemingly deep in thought. You consider whether even to bother her. Your presence is not unwelcome, reader. Remain a moment, please. She stares at you for some time. Today marks the beginning of my 16th year in exile. You look back at her and remain silent. You sense that all she wants from you right now is for you to listen. I have kept count, put notches in this breastplate of mine for each passing day. Notice how much it has frayed. 16 years, reader. The orphans whom I fostered would be long since fully grown. Some of them are likely gone. Many of them spoke how they longed to one day serve with me on the blood border. Sometimes I cannot help but wonder, if I were still captain, could I have protected them? Could I have made a difference? I think not. The Commonwealth and the High Wing remnants, they have fought eternally. Those such as I have come and gone throughout the age. I catch myself feeling pity for my years, but then, had I remained there on the blood border, it is unlikely I would have lived to see this day. She looks at you again. Do you know why they cast me down? I was a decorated captain. They said I was the best. She closes her eyes a moment before she continues. One day, it was a standard patrol, but I ran across a pack of harp fledglings, fully armed and preparing for a strike, but all on their own. They were nothing for my regiment. We ensnared them all and took them in, a considerable prize. They were not yet conditioned and could be made to talk. When the order came down that they were to be executed, I could not bring myself. The Commonwealth, priding itself on mercy, committing such acts, through one such as me, it was unconscionable. So I thought then, at least in my younger years, I let the damned birds go, made no claims as to the contrary, and turned myself in. I was cast down the following week, 16 years ago. Thus, my enemies had the last laugh in that exchange. If I were faced with the same choice again today, I do not know for certain that I would have chosen just the same. Now then, I shall go and mark this occasion as I have always done. Be well, reader. She heads out of the wagon alone. So yeah, now we can see her history. Crime, insubordination, motive, insurrection, years exiled, 16. She was a seasoned captain serving on the blood border, and she fostered the orphans of her fallen brothers and sisters. One day, she captured a flock of harp fledglings who had flown too close to the Commonwealth. When she was given the order to put them down, she refused and was thus sentenced to exile. There she survived on her own and gained her horns. Many years later, she encountered Hedwyn, whom she last remembered as one of the children she had in her care. So yeah, she also knew Hedwyn because she fostered him when he was a little bab. So I think we have everyone's history except for, like, Pamitha. Yeah, so we have everyone's history except for Pamitha. I've been wanting to send Jodi home for a while now, but like she just kept not giving me her history, so I was like, well, gotta stay another cycle then, I guess. Typically, Jodariel is always among the first to start making preparations for the rites, just as soon as you arrive amidst such places as the steady currents of the Hulk of Oralech. This time, however, she does not assist the others. She has not even donned the raiments. Your concern is noted, reader, but it is misplaced. It is only that the one we are to face this time, Ignarius. We denied his liberty before. It seems almost cruel to set him further back. How absurd that I should even care. It is simply that I seldom see those with features similar to mine, those who have survived here long enough to earn their horns. I shall go now to prepare. Soon as nightfall and the stars begin to shine. So yeah, it's like a thing where like, they don't always have horns, but like the longer you spend in the downside, they like grow in. So that's how you can tell that she's been here for a while, is because she has like horns. I think the horns recede when they go back topside too, but I'm not sure.
Reader, or should I say deceiver?
Cry about it.
For I detect another exile in your ranks. The exile Volfred Sandalwood himself, that cursed sap. I ought to have known he was behind all this. He has no love for our sacred tradition. Yet you would heed his poisoned words over mine own? I thought that we were friends. Then
all you do is yell abuse at me.
Let us return to a more formal distance.
I don't know if it's ever stated or if it's just kind of implied, but like the voice is Volfred's former Nightwing pal, I believe. Not Ignarius, the one that was listed first that we'd never freaking seen before. Hey, well, if it isn't Curlyhorn, surprised they didn't let you out already. Not that I'm complaining. Was hoping I'd run into you again. See, when you've been stuck in here for, about 14 years, not that I'm counting or anything, you gain some appreciation for the simple stuff, you know? Bit of cool breeze, a solid meal. Anyway, it's good to see you in one piece is all. Jodariel removes her mask and stares at him. Why are you doing this? We have a rite to conduct. Yeah, well, I've conducted a lot of rites, you know. Fat lot of good it's done for me. Yet here you are again. Yeah, anyway. He throws on his mask. Guess we better get things started. Archon, we got a reputation to uphold. Jodariel watches him for several moments, then rejoins your group. Reader, my girl, let us confer a moment here. I am returned now to the rites, a tradition that I had once disavowed. And now that I've donned the raiments, the voice knows I am here. It is no matter, really, for our plan is well in motion. What's our success rate? 47. All that remains is for us to prevail. I shall aid you and the others in this task as best I can. Let us see now where these old limbs of mine are still of any use, whether they're of any use. Okay, this is gonna be his, like, tutorial.
He is at last, alive and well. I know that you can hear me, Sandalwood. You're causing quite a stir out in the Commonwealth.
He's also slow.
You plant your little seeds of discontent. Know that your designs at sowing chaos shall not be tolerated here. Now, good evening to you.
Wait, no, that's not B. Now then, Nightwings, I look forward to conducting with you all, and if and when, of course, the reader calls for us to stand as a triumvirate together. Our adversary, Ignarius, his heart is not in this. We should be able to prevail against him without difficulty.
Who shall it be this time?
Oh, roster bio updated. Oh, right. We got his history last episode, but then we ended up getting, like, cock-blocked by the reverse Nightwings, so we didn't actually get to see it, but, yeah, his crime was assault, his motive was anger, and his years exiled is 14. So it says, born to a middling Commonwealth family, he got into trouble early and often, but found his calling in the Commonwealth's not entirely legal red light district. Most notably, he watched the doors at the Starry Eight, an infamous tavern where high-ranking Commonwealth officials sometimes showed up incognito to blow off steam. One evening, a particularly belligerent guest got under his skin, so he gave him a tremendous thrashing. This guest turned out to be a wealthy chamberlain who used his connections to get him arrested and exiled. So that's how poor Ignarius got down here. I don't think anyone else matters. Yeah, these are just like randos. So I would like to bring... Who needs levels? I will bring Sir Gilman.
Sir Gilman.
And I will also bring you, but I want to give you this. So you aren't, like, literally slower than something or other. I don't know. Insert your insult here, I'm too tired. Oh, did we get Rukey's talisman back? I kind of thought we lost those when they went topside. I guess not. Okay. You...
Volfred.
Insert insult. Don't judge me. Let's bring Tizo too, I guess. Tizo or Pamitha. I think Pamitha. Upgrade her talisman a little. Oh, is it already maxed out? Okay. That's already maxed out. Pamitha. Pam. Ignarius, you used to be the fiercest demon I had ever met. Has the downside finally quenched your burning spirit? Bring it on then, Nightwings. Let's see you beat me again.
Now begin.
Oh god, I forgot how to play this game. Okay. Then I use this to fly.
The path to glory laid bare.
Damn it, got us good already. Well then, come on, the fun's just getting started. Alright, recover our stamina. Okay. That was just me being dumb. I like ran into the bottom wall. Because he should just auto hop over that, yeah. There we go. Have Pamitha plunge into the fire. Pyre. Jesus Christ.
Simply monstrous.
Dang it.
Blessed be.
Sir Gilman.
The Worm Knight somehow did it.
The Worm Knight somehow did it, okay. This guy's like, aren't we friends? No. My friends aren't assholes.
How very fortunate.
Most of the time. Sometimes. Go. There's like a little thing at the bottom that I just keep getting hung up on, and it's so dumb.
Now go on, just once more.
Oh, did Pamitha come back?
And it is done.
Okay.
The Nightwings once again prevail. They hardly deserved it, though, if you ask me.
Rude.
The Rite is done.
Sir Gilman and Pamitha worked very hard. And Sandalwood was there. Well, curly horns, what can I tell you? Guess you Nightwings still got a spring in your step. You could have prevailed. Why did you hold back? Ha! Ha ha! You really want to know there, huh? Indulge me. Sure. You free tomorrow night? Jodariel scoffs at this. She dons her mask. Then she turns and walks away from him without another word. Ignarius simply stands and stares. Damn.
Scribes bless us with their ways.
Ignarius is like, gotta shoot my shot.
Sir Gilman's not as foolish as his lowly kind as wont.
Okay, what did I want? I wanted this one. Right? Yeah, and he's like maxed out on enlightenment or inspiration or whatever. Oh, it's been this way since my last outings in the Rites, begging for your continued patience as I recollect the way. Let's see here. Slowed and cannot use abilities. Ooh. Remotely detonate sapling. I'm gonna take this path just for extra insurance.
Tis the wisdom of old 100 Mines. Until the next Rite.
That's right, boys. I'm coming for you. Back at the Black Wagon, you are taking some time to recover after overcoming the Tempers almost effortlessly when Volfred approaches. The Nightwings are in capable hands these days, my girl. Thank you for your continued efforts, given all the challenges we face. The Rites may be ending, but we still have time to achieve our plan, especially if you continue to prevail like that. Oh, now we're at 50% chance probability of success. Come, let's see whom we shall square against when next the stars align. The stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. Seek now your destination. If we can fight the Chastity, I kind of want to, because I don't think I've refought them yet. The Essence, Chastity, those guys. Forget the Dissidents. Okay, we're gonna go with the Chastity. Because I don't think I've gotten, not Lorenz's backstory yet. Your next adversaries are to be the Chastity, headed by H. Manly Tinderstuff. They would prevail in the Rites not for their freedom, but for the fame and fortune in your commonwealth. You and the Lone Minstrel then go over what he knows of your next adversary. H. Manly Tinderstuff, the offspring of a semi-famous sap industrialist. He was born into wealth and lived in the lap of luxury, never having to fend for himself. When he came of age, he soon was offered a cushy ambassador positions that required little more than a silver tongue to convince the Commonwealth that he was keeping busy. He soon grew so proficient at doing nothing much at all that he started spending all his family's riches to assert his fame and status. One day he attempted to pay off the wrong individual, a particularly stern Commonwealth diplomat, who promptly turned him in and had him sent downriver. Manly was very disappointed by all this, but soon saw it as an opportunity, for he knew well that in inner circles, there were those who had gone into exile and returned. Thanks to his connections, he tracked down the Chastity deep in Wakingwood. He finagled his way into the Triumvirate using his well-worn skills. He in turn convinced himself that he would earn a position of great influence once he secured a way back to his home. He continues making hollow promises. Haha, hollow, get it? Because he's a tree. Okay. A shame that this manly and the Chastity are nothing like the Scribe Florian and do not share his values. Now it is time we rested, reader, given all today's travails. You bid the lone minstrel a good night and take your leave. It is too late now to prepare for flight, so you arrange to depart first thing in the morning. Oh boy, we got a new page. The Tempers. In the words of Haub the Swallow the Accursed, Myr, the Horned One, formed the Tempers upon his own ideals. Ingrained in this triumvirate are basic truths about the dual roles of strength and gentleness. The Horned One, he has had a dualistic nature for as long as he and I consider each a friend. The stories I am told about Myr's youth describe no one I know. All of us are capable of more. I once was an imp that could not write. Myr once was a man that could not think. The Tempers were once ordinary folk. God damn, Haub. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Myr himself. Rather, they are what Myr wished he could be. Haub is fucking savage. Hello, my girl. Tizo and I, we were just reminiscing on old times. Tizo is happy to have Volfred back among the Nightwings once again. Thank you, Tizo. I am happy to be back among the Nightwings as well. Though you understand why we were forced apart for so long, don't you? Tizo indicates that he understands full well. I trust that Tariq provided some company and song during the intervening time. Tizo confirms he did enjoy traveling alongside the lone minstrel for some time. And there he is, right on cue. Something I can do for you, Volfred, sir? Volfred laughs warmly at this. No, Tariq, we are well enough for now. Tizo and I, we were just remembering the time when we first met, the three of us. Tizo was rather apprehensive then, as I recall. He was merely being circumspect, I'm sure. Tizo has the sharpest instincts of us all. But the bite he gave to you, sir, it left a permanent impression, did it not? It did indeed. I considered it a mark of friendship. May it stay with me for all my days. Wait, where is it? Is that, like, right here? Did you do this part? It's kind of nice. It's a good reminder that despite the challenges we faced together in the past, my time among the Nightwings has been extraordinary. Likewise, I can say the same, sir. Tizo shares the sentiment as well. Volfred turns to you. I should apologize, my girl. Here we are speaking of a history you do not share. Believe me when I say we're skipping over many of the bad parts. What I mean is, it isn't my intention to exclude you as we wax nostalgic. The Nightwings that you know, we are a strange assortment, are we not? Those of us who share some kinship from the past, I suppose we cannot help but seek some warmth in it. But it should not be to the exclusion of the friendships that we forge right now. So please, why don't you join us for a bit? Together you, Volfred, Tizo, and the Lone Minstrel talk a while about the times gone by. The three of them are pleased to be back in one another's company again, having grown close through shared experience in the past. Just the same, they have welcomed you into the group. In spite of the hardships you have faced, some of these idle moments that you share together may one day form memories you think back on with fondness. Soon the conversation winds down, though it lifted all your spirits for a while. Every time I have to talk to Volfred, I'm like, oh great, it's gonna be another novella. Bertrude slithers up to you as the black wagon passes through the skies above her former abode. Our kind who lurk below, they would scarce believe we soar above them now. We told them when Sandalwood came to fetch us that we shall not return for some time. Our most accomplished laborers, with whom we shared so many moons in exile, we trust that they shall carry forth the reputation of our services. For now we taught them all we know. She seems almost nostalgic as she lists off the various services provided at Big Bertrude's. Curses, bombs, potions, powders, cleaning reagents, sleep medicines, fungicides, seances. Big Bertrude's earned quite a name for herself throughout the downside for these and other things. When we are finished here, provided we do not return from whence we came, we shall return to our establishment and carry on our business there, for there is much demand. I'm not actually sure where we're ending up. The Jomer Valley again. We can either talk to you, or we can talk to... Interesting. We're gonna go there. This seems interesting. Oh, Jodi's here. Sup? Jodariel has seemed more reserved even than usual since her confrontation with Ignarius and the Tempers. Nonetheless, she addresses you. Tell me something, reader. Back where you came from, did you have someone whom you considered close? Ooh. There was no one. You tell Jodariel that you had nobody close enough to be worth mentioning back in the Commonwealth. She shows no reaction to this, but you can tell that she is listening. I see. I led a solitary life as well, though for a time I had someone. It is something which did not end well, but there were times. She trails off. We had our times. She looks up at you then. That Ignarius, he is a base fool. We had not one thing in common save a set of horns. Yet here I am drawing comparisons with how I felt at times back in the Commonwealth while speaking to you of him. I am a little old to be having such thoughts, reader, especially in a place such as this. Aw, Jodi has a crush on Ignarius. Thank you for your time. Do not reveal this to the others. It is a trifling matter and not to be of anyone's concern, especially not mine. Jodariel makes evident that she has nothing more to say about this. Tell her Ignarius seems alright. Tell her Ignarius seems like trouble. Tell her you care for her. Tell her goodbye. Say I care about her. You admit, not without some degree of difficulty, that you have grown to care for her yourself. You understand full well how Ignarius must feel. You knew from the first that you had never met anyone like her, but you could never have surmised the degree to which this turned out to be true. Jodariel says nothing at first. Brave of you to say. Such flattery. How brave of you to say. In turn, and this conversation demonstrates, I have come to value your kinship. But we shall have to draw a boundary there, for a variety of reasons. Okay, so Jodi does not want to step on me, and I am not okay with that. I know I'm not being delicate, but you and I both understand, I think, how feelings operate. Please forgive me my G's. Both you and I understand, I think, how feelings operate. Yes? I care for you and I am grateful that you care for me. She departs with a nod. You sense her mood grown darker for the moment, not because of anything you said, but because of how she knows she made you feel. I didn't mean it like that! Oh my god! I mean, like, yeah, I do want her to step on me, but I didn't mean like, hey Jodi, I wanna bang you, like... Oh god, it's... Mass Effect... Mass Effect dialogue wheel all over again. Sheesh. Can I talk to Sandra? I cannot. Love. As you walk through a dark corner of Blue Hive, you sense a presence of some sort which reaches out to you. It presents to you a vision of the adversary you expect to face in the coming Rite. Jesus, what is going on with this? The apparition is aware of your next adversary in the Rite's manly. It offers to sway the coming Rite against him in your favor. Accept, and your adversary shall suffer a misfortune that inhibits his performance. Nothing permanent, it claims. Decline, and the apparition shall extend its offer to manly instead. I'm gonna decline because I play fair. You thank the apparition for its generous offer, but decline, choosing your words with care. The apparition makes no response you can discern. Then it shimmers and is gone. You attempt to set your mind at ease as you return to the Black Wagon to pursue your vocations. And we are going to mentor somebody. I'm thinking... Pamitha. Fine then, let us chat together for a spell. You and Pamitha spend some time reviewing the specific aspects of the Rite, such as the properties of the aura. You sense she has gained something from it. But as time is ended, just say thanks for having me along on this strange little journey of yours, reader darling. I think I was going with this one. Permanently gains 8 quickness. Yeah, that's definitely what I was going for. I hadn't thought of it quite that way, reader darling. Yeah, I want to send Jodi back next, and then I think I want to send Kay back after her. And then I'm not sure how many cycles there are total in this game. Ooh, a messenger imp. With news and rumors from the other side comes huffing toward your wagon here in the dusty wastes of Jomar Valley. You let it in and offer it some light refreshment, as Rukey would have done. The imp's message turns out to be about him. You learn Rukey's past transgressions have all been forgiven since his return to the Commonwealth. He was even offered a well-appointed home and place of business. It must have represented just the kind of lavish lifestyle that Rukey had always claimed to have had for himself and his extended family. Eventually, and somewhat reluctantly, however, he refused the gifts. Instead, he tracked down Volfred's agents and gave them ample information, thus emboldening their ranks. The last bit of the message sounds as though it was transcribed word for word from something Rukey said. It simply reads, "The rest of you better get back here soon, or else." You thank the messenger imp for the report. Soon it has all your companions talking. We understand this Rukey holds no small degree of influence, at least among his kind. Don't you think he must be sad to have turned down a house? I hope he isn't sad. Ah, the noble Rukey, he sets a shining example unto us all. I had every faith that our friend Rukey would stand tall and rise to the occasion. Hard to believe he would have turned down living in that kind of luxury, though maybe he got used to it out here. It seems that Greentail had himself a conscience after all. Damn, Jodi. Tizo is happy to learn that Rukey joined the revolution in the Commonwealth. The news of Rukey's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. The messenger imp accepts some scraps to eat from you and rushes off. It's so cute! Like in kind of like a dumb way, but like cute. Your companions gain +1 hope for the next Rite. Wish Rukey luck. I have a feeling Manly's gonna take that deal from that apparition. 'Cause he's a dick. Alright, let's get... Oh, so you guys, I already forgot about how you left me and Dad back there in the middle of nowhere. Well, obviously you didn't forget about it or you wouldn't have brought it up. And we really needed help because we made it back eventually. This is some passive-aggressive bullshit, and I do not approve. And I got to say, this is your lucky day because those thingers I picked up, which you said you didn't want, well, I said we're gonna fly right off the shelves. Well, turns out I got a couple left. He pauses for dramatic effect. Then, he reveals to you several artifacts. The Black Hoof, Black Heart, and Black Claw. Those do not sound like fun items. Cursed Talisman. 100% more stamina than usual, but cannot grasp the orb. After getting banished, the bearer either returns with infinitive stamina or as a fast-moving howler. The bearer's aura remains while grasping the orb, but cannot be cast. One of 3 scattered remnants of a thrice-cursed demon who roam the downside in a state of madness. I'm not fucking around with those. That's some, like, cursed-ass shit. They emanate with energy that cannot possibly be completely healthy. Nice, huh? You guys, you got first dibs on these bad boys, and I can tell you what, they're gonna go fast. Yeah. Oh, wow, that was a lot added. I'm good. Alright, we're gonna sell our downberries. That was coral. A ring. I know, I didn't want to... Okay. Tell your friends about us, because I already told mine. Oh, we got a new page. Hold on, now we gotta go read the page. Downside travels. In the words of Jomar Menimane, the Alpha Chief. You cannot survive the downside if you cannot get around. Howlers shall descend on you, or tempests shall shear you to pieces. That is just the way of it. Traveling through the environs is no simple feat. Consider yourself blessed if you were born a cur. If not, however, you shall have to find a means to cross these lands without the benefit of 4 strong paws. Luce Glorian believes this untamed land can be traversed through means unnatural. I thought at first that he meant sorcery, but he suggests invention. He speculates that carriages could cross this land by harnessing its fury. A wild thought, in my case, my paws shall suffice. Okay, let's go. I'm fighting this guy completely for his music. Everything is prepared and the night is just beginning to take hold above the stark badlands of the Spring of Jomar when Volfred gets your attention. Reader, I suppose you might remember our first meeting with that manly tinder stuff. He would be mortified, of course, if you forgot. I would say that he is an embarrassment to my kind, but unfortunately I've known many others like him. We are a discontented people, I suppose. Anyway, when last we saw him, you might recall that I avoided him. We are not good acquaintances or anything, but he knows enough people in high places that he could be harmful to our plan should he know of my involvement, and so Volfred dons his ritual mask. I shall have to be discreet here. As I am with the Nightwings once again, I can no longer hide from him outright. Perhaps, though, he shall take me for a common sap. Anyhow, it seems we have a rite to conduct. I love his music.
Forth, you exiles of the Nightwings. The 8 scribes summon you to the Spring of Jomar. The triumvirate you stand against shall be the Chastity. Reduce their pyre to a smolder and step closer to freedom. Now prepare yourselves.
My, what have we here? Why, the Nightwings, come to grace us with their presence once again. Are you perhaps intent on humiliating us even more after last time? You sense Volfred reaching out to you. Reader, let us indulge him for the time. Perhaps he shall reveal something we can use to provide a disincentive for his meddling. Just let him keep on talking. I shall attempt to remain hidden. And my, the colors of those raiments, I mean, they are rather gaudy in this light, I have to say. Though I mean no offensiveness, of course. So, do you suppose the rite is going to commence soon? As much as I enjoy our chats like this, I do have to get going soon. If you must know why, I'm expecting an important message from the other side, no less. I've come dawn. I hear something is brewing out there, some sort of unrest, So yes, it's a very important message, sent all the way by one of those imp couriers. And I must say, those little things, their services are certainly not cheap. Though I'm sure I could get you a good deal on their services if you wish, perhaps to contact a loved one back home. All I ask, of course, is that you stand aside and let the chastity prevail, as well we ought, for I have a date with Destiny not long from now upon the fall of Solium. He continues talking for some time, until at last the rite is to start. Oh ho ho, my, look at this wonderful assembly of exiles come from all different corners. Such a colorful retinue your Nightwings have. You know, I had heard the most preposterous rumor about you, that you were harboring an especially notorious criminal, one who has designs upon the Commonwealth itself. He looks right at Volfred. But I cannot imagine such outlandish tales could possibly be true. Anyhow, I would so like to meet everyone here. Hello, good Nightwings. I am H. Manly Tinderstoff, and truly it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Manly has intruded on your privacy as you set to choosing your triumvirate. He could not be less welcome. He seems to be searching for someone in your ranks. Manly seems very interested in your triumvirate. Manly seems to respond to behavior similar to his own. You could send him away. Perhaps a broken limb or two might cause Manly to think better of such antics next time. It would be nice. You suggest to Manly that perhaps he ought to check on his own triumvirate in the key moments prior to the rite. Why, yes, of course. I was just taking the opportunity to bid all you salutations, for I so enjoy getting to meet my fellow exiles face to face like this. Yes, there may be rules against this type of thing, but who's counting, am I right? I'm sure the scribes wouldn't mind if they were here. Anyway, now that you mention it, I ought to go back and check on my wonderful colleagues. Thank you shortly, and good luck. Manly leaves at last, leaving you to focus on the rite again.
Who shall besmirch the Nightwing's name?
Oh, fuck you, dude. But yeah, I think his bio should be updated now. Yep. Crime, bribery, motive, self-gain, years exiled 20? Holy shit. The offspring of semi-famous sand. Yeah, I think we already covered that. So I'm not gonna reread it. Okay, so first things first, I would like to bring... Does everyone have their special talismans? Except for, Volfred. I guess so, okay. So, I definitely want to bring Tizo. Bring Jodi.
Jodariel.
And we will bring Kay.
Okay. It is done.
Manly, he reminds me of the kinds of people who were unkind to me. Back home, I mean. Not here. Are you quite ready yet, O Nightwings? I doubt you are. Oh yeah, Tizo's a little baby. Because of my colleagues of the Chastity and I, we have a trick or two we think shall take you by surprise. Just watch. Okay, screw you too, buddy.
Begin.
They're just gonna camp with this orb, aren't they?
Oh, your adversary's Pyre is the first to falter.
Can I punch him just a little? Yes. If you would I would very much like to too. That's not what I wanted. How do I cast again? There it is.
Ferocity unbridled.
Shit, I wasn't paying attention.
Unfortunate. The orb. Tizo doused their Pyre.
Tizo's thing is super nice.
Deliverance.
Oh, please do punch, Manly. Oh, how very, very charming this display, but quit it now, and let old Manly put an end to all of this before you make a terrible mistake. How about you go and eat... Shit. I did not realize that the shield could do that. Okay, well, we will go ahead and try and...
I thought they had you there.
Tizo Part 2. Lie, my little friend.
Spectacularly.
But yeah, Tizo's personal talisman literally gives him infinite stamina, which is just freaking ridiculous. And I forget if this is like a skill ability for Kay, but like when she has the orb, she also has infinite stamina, which is dope. Give it. Hand it over.
The orb is loose.
Don't say that like that.
And it is done. The Nightwings prevail. Mayhap the Scribe shall simply smite them down next time.
This guy really doesn't like us now.
The Rite is ended.
My word, how could this happen to me? You deceitful, ignorant, utterly uncouth pack of fools. Have you any idea what you've done? Volfred watches the outburst in silence. Keep spouting off like that, Manly, and you shall reveal all we need to know. You harbor such a fear within your heart there, don't you? Coming from the aristocracy and now in exile. How they must speak of you. What did we do to make him mad again? We beat him. He's a gamer, bro. He doesn't like it when girls kick his ass. What would they think of you if you don't get out? Or even if you do? Volfred remains deep in thought, studying his adversary. There, I see. I see now. Then Volfred recedes into the shadows. What? My head? Who? Oh, I believe there must be some mistake. I have to go. Ta-ta. Fine evening to you now. It's been a pleasure. Genuinely so. I think Volfred was like reading his mind, because that's just like a thing people who can read in this universe can do. I don't know. Manly stumbles away in a stupor. And there he goes. I've lifted certain burdens from him, for the time. A bit of mercy for his sake, and for my people's sake. As well, it should ensure he has no lasting memory of our encounter here, or running into me. Now, let's be off before he catches up with us again.
Always is there greater knowledge to be gained. Until the stars align.
Okay, we might have one more little rite before the liberation rite, or this might be the liberation rite, I'm not sure. After you prevailed against the Chastity with ease, there is little time for you to rest, as yet the night beckons and the next rite reveals itself to be a vital one. Oh, it's already time for the liberation rite, okay. It is already time, reader. Come see for yourself. The coldness of the season now presents to us another chance. He heads out straight away, and you follow in turn. So we're gonna have a liberation rite. Indeed, among the remaining stars, you see one with which you are very familiar. One with which you are familiar now burns ever brightly. Some of the way these things are worded are like really awkward to like read. Looks like we're facing off against the Essence, which means I gotta bring Pamitha. Already are the Nightwings summoned back to Mount Aladil. Picture the Rites as a wheel broken free from a black wagon. It is turning uncontrollably and soon shall reach a sudden stop. We should have several chances left for someone to go free, either us or else our adversaries, but not both. What is at stake each time is further complicated now, I must admit, knowing we have so few opportunities remaining. Those whom we send back into the Commonwealth, should our plan somehow fail, they may look back upon their exile with fondness. Oh, 53% now. So returning to the Commonwealth is not inherently a mercy, I don't think. Moreover, there are also those among us whom we count on to prevail in the Rites. We need them on the Nightwings just as much as we need them in the Commonwealth. We cannot simply grow our numbers here given the circumstances, and so, who stays, who goes, these choices affect us all. No pressure there, my girl. None taken, Volfred, thanks. Now I don't know about you, but I shall go and take my leave for now. Let us set forth again at daybreak. You find Tizo there in the black wagon looking rather more despondent than usual. When you attempt to reach out to him, he barely acknowledges you. Tizo indicates that he wishes to be left alone right now. You almost run into Kay as you turn to leave. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I was just wanting to come check on little Tizo there. I think maybe he's taken ill or something? On further inspection, it occurs to you that Kay perhaps is not off the mark, and that Tizo is unwell for some reason. Come on, Tizo, you're gonna be alright. You might be the smallest one of us, but I think you're the toughest. Though Miss Jodariel, I think she's very tough as well. Tizo appreciates the kind words, but still wishes to be left alone at this time. Oh, don't be silly, Tizo. You know I won't be doing that, don't you? Kay turns to you for a moment, lowering her voice. Miss, I think Tizo would like a little bit of privacy if you don't mind. Though I don't mean to be rude. It's just, Tizo... Well, I told him not to eat something. There was this, well, I think it was a mushroom maybe, growing in the corner over there. Inside? So I see Tizo sniffing at it, and he's always hungry, and usually I try to feed him, but this time I told him no, because I know my mushrooms, and whatever that was, I think it was a mushroom, but it wasn't one I know. Well, Tizo ate it anyway. Tizo corroborates Kay's recollection of what happened. So, anyway, I think he's going to maybe, well, cough it up, I guess. I think maybe at any moment now. Because when I ate things I thought were mushrooms around here, I coughed them up as well. They made me rather sick, kind of like Tizo over there. I hope that I'm not being inappropriate, because it's not polite, maybe? Oh, come to think of it, Tizo, why don't we go outside? Because then I won't have to clean up after you like last time when you ate something I said maybe you shouldn't remember. Tizo indicates he remembers full well and regrets not heeding Kay's food-related counsel. Oh, don't worry, silly. If you've taken ill, then I think you're going to be fine once you have a little walk outside with me, because you're very tough. Tizo's beginning to look better already. You're my best friend, Tizo. I won't let anything bad happen to you. Or at least I'll try, okay? I don't think anyone could stop you from eating things, though. Then she snatches Tizo up in her arms and whisks him out of the black wagon with her. You hear her call back to you over her shoulder. Bye, miss. I'll make sure that Tizo is alright, I promise, okay? Although the prospect of Kay administering medical assistance normally would give you pause, Tizo seems to accompany her willingly enough. The two have shared a rather close bond since Kay made contact with the group. For someone like her who has lived alone for so long, the friendship must be vital. And as for Tizo, he must be impressed that a non-native of the downside seems to know her way around food safety even better than he. Cool. The Chastity. Those bearing the name the Chastity all count themselves disciples of Luce Glorian, the 100 Mines, known firstly for his wisdom, but also cherished for his modesty, integrity, and kinship. Sglorian's priority in forming his triumvirate was to instill in all his subjects a deep-seated deference and respect for the rules governing the liberation cycle. The cycle of the rites needs to be respected and to be understood, and needs to be understood to be respected, Sglorian said. Thus the Chastity are emissaries of the cycle. Should they earn back their liberty, then they shall spread enlightenment itself, and all of us shall grow. Can I talk to Sandra yet? Oh, I want to talk to Bay. I think I have to wait for her to offer me, like, a scribe trial. Oh, thanks. I usually mute my mic before I cough because everyone thinks my coughs are sneezes. Your flight takes you to near where you breached past Storm Wall into Deathless Tempest. With the climate in the downside intensifying, you wonder if the storm has spilled forth from its confines and started to ravage other regions of the land. Are we there yet? We're there yet? We're there, okay. Let's do Jodi. You make landing upon Mount Aladil, where Volfred pulls you aside while the others complete a post-flight inspection. Volfred, don't plot at me anymore. Please stop plotting at me. He puffs at his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I now wear the raiments once again. This means that I myself may soon be worthy to regain my freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. Know, however, that it is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on a sure footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I wanted you to know. I shall of course defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom. If not soon, then by when all this is over. Having completed the post-flight inspection, you and Jodariel visit the monument of Chastity here in Emperor's Ascent. You scribes are quite predictable. The others were naive to think our opportunities at freedom were indefinite. So now we have to make the most of every chance. Is that so? I fail to see how this is any different than before. Soon she has finished paying her respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Chastity has shown you favor. You shall soon ascend the mountain, though there is time now to pursue your vocations. Oh, it's Jodi again, hold on. Jodariel seems to be fidgeting with her horns. Blast these wretched things, reader. Have you any inkling of as to how unwieldy they become with age? I long for the days when the wound on my leg was chief among my bodily concerns. Say they look heavy, say they look good. Say nothing. Well, I want to say they look good, but I'm afraid Jodi's gonna think I'm hitting on her again. So they're heavy. Note that her horns do look rather heavy and express regret that they yet seem to cause her some discomfort. Your sympathy is noted, but it does not change the fact of the matter here. 10 years or so into my stay within this blasted place, I first felt protrusions from my skull. They remained hidden by my hair for quite some time, but I knew that would not last. We all heard much of the demons in the Commonwealth, sinners rightfully exiled, and would assume their rightful form. Thus, when my horns started to sprout, I took it as an indication that perhaps this was indeed the fate I deserved. She trails off a while. I know somewhat better now. Anybody of our kind left down here long enough and left alive becomes like this. Something in the climate? Difficult to say. A disease of sorts, but not a deadly one. If anything, the opposite. If we live long enough, then we live longer still like this, extending thus our sentence into exile. Sometimes I think, if these horns are here to symbolize my sins, then surely they are going to recede if ever I return. On nights when these damned horns prevent my sleep, my thoughts inevitably stray to that hopeless idea, a naive hope which never leaves, despite prolonged attempts to rid myself of it. Horns are not worth the trouble, reader. She nods wryly as she heads out into the afternoon. Alright, we're gonna mentor somebody. I think Jodi should be good to go. So who's behind? I mean, obviously Volfred's really behind, but like... Okay, we'll mentor Volfred. Certainly, I would appreciate your point of view. Volfred gains a somewhat stronger grasp of how to better pass the celestial orb through the strength of will and trust in one's triumvirate than through dexterity alone. He nods in understanding. The most fascinating aspect of all this, one I endeavor to continue studying for a long time yet. Okay. Let's see. Pamitha. Okay. Pamitha. Don't ask me how we got over here. En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Under King Oris, and Pamitha happens to take notice. I have to hand it to you, Pamitha. You have a real gift for getting yourself into one bad situation after another. Now here you are, praying to the dead to bring the stars back. Is that it? Maybe you'll get out of here this time. Things might even be worse back home. Soon she has finished paying her respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Under King Oris has shown you favor. +3 glory. Nice. Let's go. You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of the Scribesgate before an archway carved of stone where stands the Gate Guardian. Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the rites begins drawing to a close. The Nightwings accept this as the will of the Scribes. The Gate Guardian laughs at this softly for some reason. And you, Tariq, do you accept their will as well? But the lone minstrel does not answer her. It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you, come forth and state what it is you seek while crossing the Scribe's Gate. One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. When Volfred takes his turn, Celeste stops him. You, I see you wear the raiments once again. Explain. The cycle of the rites is ending. While I do not know exactly why, I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. I remember well the contemporary whom you mean. Then the Nightwings stand divided. Yes, and so I wear the raiments once again, in case that it might help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side and bring our freedom to the people there. Can the lone minstrel be freed? No, because he can't conduct the rites. Only people who you could actually physically play as can be freed, and you can't play as the lone minstrel. I don't think he'd want to be freed anyways, because I think Sun Chick is his girlfriend. She considers Volfred's words for a moment. I see. Then move along. The guardian of the Scribe's Gate regards you all, then she beckons you onward. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Celeste? What is it, Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have we both followed it. I think you would agree. In equal measure has it drawn us close as separated us. But if their aim now is to keep us apart for another age or longer, then no. I do not accept their will. You blaspheme, Tariq. And at the gate, no less. The lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes themselves admonish me. Until tomorrow night, Celeste. Yeah, I'm not really sure who Tariq and Celeste are, if they're like gods or something. I have no idea, dude. Having reached the peak of Mount Aladil again, you see the vastness of the downside all around you. It leaves you deep in thought regarding which of your companions ought to go free this night, as Rukey did last time. Just in case you forgot who went free. Hi again, Volfred. Volfred looks up as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my girl, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rites once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Ours was a triumvirate of exactly 3. Well, 4 with Tizo, who proved to be an exception. Though historically the Nightwings never took more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brighton, and my former companions, Erisa and Oralech. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the voice that, like, shit-talks us is Brighton. I don't remember if they ever state that directly or if it's just kind of implied. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. Yeah. Because he was freed, and then when you're freed, you get, like, cushy positions in the Commonwealth. So his position is to, like, oversee the rites or something. Perhaps naively, I'd hope my... Okay. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there is more you wish to learn of them. Oh god, I'm gonna have to talk to Ask about Brighton. You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Volfred first joined the Nightwings. I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now. Though for that matter, my girl, so do you. Okay, yeah, so they do state it. He studies your reaction for a moment then. Brighton was born wealthy, but not special otherwise. You would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Erisa and Oralech, who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Oralech gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I soon would hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book, which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Volfred looks at you as if to see you yet take his meaning. You see, my girl, after Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, it's his. He is no longer Brighton. He is now none other than Archjustice Androbles the Ninth himself. Wow. The Grand Judge and figurehead under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. Those who violate the law of the Commonwealth face sentencing by the appointed Archjustice. Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their old triumvirates. They have much to thank them for, not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. Their public pasts are nothing but a fabrication. Like Brighton, they once were exiles too. Brighton, that voice, he has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well what we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the tradition of the rites. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen in you the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's a path you wanted to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about? Ask about Erisa. You ask about Erisa, who you understand betrayed Oralech at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shimmer Pool. I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my girl, but I suppose you ought to know something of Erisa's past, lest you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult. Yeah, you don't see her, but she was, like, previously part of the Nightwings, and, like, she was Volfred's friend, and what she did was she, like, hold on, I think it says, a former exile of the Nightwings who conducted the rites alongside Volfred and Oralech. So what she did was, like, Oralech was supposed to go free, and then she kind of stabbed him in the back so that she could escape first, but then she died. Because you can't stab people in the back and escape. That's just not how it works. Erisa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. You could see it plainly branded on her face. Such was the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. Wait, where is it branded on her face? I don't see anything on her face. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking up the post left by her brother. He had fallen in battle on the Blood Border, despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered from this, and had grown cruel and detached. It was Erisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day it was all too much for her, so when next he lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again, and again, and again. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Erisa always was intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the Highwing remnants a great siege engine that could shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth forever, end our feud. What she ultimately did to Oralech, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think it was simply evil, nor do I think it was personal. I often wondered, though, if, in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool, she understood what she had done and the depths to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit I hated her, but now my only hope is that she found peace, a peace untenable during her relatively short life in the Downside and the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Erisa offers some perspective yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, was there anything else? Ask about Oralech, because this is going to give us a history for everyone. You ask about what Oralech was like when he and Volfred first became acquainted. Volfred remained silent for some time. I was very, very sick, you know, when I first landed in the Downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little too much for me. It was Oralech who found me. He could not have known my capacity to read before he revived me. Isn't it branded on your face? Like right here? He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Oralech, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. This sowed in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the High Wing remnants. We have met Oralech, but we haven't met him this run. He'll show back up, though. It must have gone about how you would expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the downside. Here he gained the notice of the Nightwings, and before long he grew to be one of the finest rites conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the Triumvirate were later filled by Erisa and me. In time, Oralech's own opportunity for freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. Yeah, this is him. You can see his little portrait. He's super hot. Like, 10 out of 10 would bang. Anyways. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point. Volfred breathes a heavy sigh. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think he was gone, and now I still cannot entirely believe he is back. He is our adversary now, transformed, grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives. Make no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Oralech or anyone. As I've said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Oralech, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my girl? No, I'm good. You bid Volfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much farther we have yet to go. Nope. I'm gonna check every time. I don't think I have anything to sell. Yeah, I got it. 47. Oh, can buy that. Oh, and I can sell this down, Barry. I kind of want to keep the talismans. I know you can sell them, but I kind of like them. They're leaving, Dad. Just look at how much we got this time. Yeah, whatever. Commence the liberation rite. Once more you have gained the fall of Solium, where one among you may go free, but first you shall have to prevail against the essence in the liberation rite. Reader, your companions are gathered there, under the fall. They shall be counting on you. Indeed, as the cycle of the rites turns ever faster, so too is our plan set in motion. My agents in the Commonwealth are beginning to cause a bit of a stir out there, and word has reached high places that the rites are ending. This is our chance, though let us not despair, should victory elude us here. We shall make the most of whatever the scribes may have in store for us. That is to say, good luck, my girl. It's time. We have all the Titan stars unlocked now. I never use them, but... Yeah, so you know how in Hades you can use the Pact of Punishment?
Once more, the Nightwings gain the summit of the sacred Mount Jodariel to conduct the liberation rite. Even as
I don't know how to say that, but he
themselves
definitely said it wrong.
abandon you. Make good upon these final opportunities, reader.
So the Titan stars are basically like the
This
Pact
glorious
of Punishment.
coming to an end upon your watch.
Yeah, whatever.
I trust your adversaries, the Essence, shall not throw away this chance.
Is it like a requirement of the
Choose now
Nightwings
who may
reader
go
to be
free,
wordy as
should they
fuck?
unfortunately fail.
Anyways, yeah, so the Titan stars are like the Pact of Punishment where they just make the game harder. The Pyre's burn in each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The Pyre's burn in each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the Essence, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Pamitha swoops down from somewhere and unfastens her mask. I am known as Pamitha Thane. I mean to return to my ancestral home and promptly resume my responsibilities as flight tactician of the Highwing Remnants. Our long stalemate against the Commonwealth shall soon end, should I and several of my sisters manage to rejoin our clan. Then our vengeance shall be swift and thorough. Your quarrel with the country that cast you into exile is beneath the notice of the scribes, Pamitha Thane. Here you shall be judged under the stars. My quarrel with the Commonwealth is all that gave me and my sisters strength enough to reach this point. The scribes ought well take heed of how my people suffer. We are not weaklings anymore like your Chastity. We shall not fall in line with flightless fools and their naked attempts to subsume our heritage, our culture. Speak not again thus of the saint, or you shall be expelled, Pamitha Thane. Pamitha scoffs, then turns her attention toward your side. And Nightwings, as for you, the fury we shall imminently show is nothing in comparison to the hatred growing for your Commonwealth in the mountains on the other side. She signals to her sisters to ready themselves. You seek your freedom, but there shall be nothing save for devastation should you manage to return. Nightwings, your decision on whose behalf you shall conduct the liberation rite. Rite, I would ask that you choose wisely, but I'm sure you know no other way. And you, prepare your song, Tariq. Of course, Celeste.
Whom do you intend to liberate?
Hold on. I think we got hers. Yeah, terrorism, hatred, 7 years exiled. Jodi's going next.
Jodariel.
If that is your wish.
Who shall lend her support?
I'll bring Volfred.
Volfred.
Let us prevail on this night for you, Jodariel, and for the good of our ailing nation. And lastly, I would like to bring Pamitha.
Pamitha.
Sure, let's get her out of here then.
It is done.
One final obstacle to overcome ere I can soar again above your Commonwealth. Such destruction I shall rain upon it soon. First, let us dance this final time. God, Tamitha's also really hot.
Commence.
I have no idea what the hell just happened, but... Kinda cool, but the song they sing changes depending on who you're facing. As Liberation Rite continues, you sense Pamitha reaching out to you, or perhaps just reaching out to anyone at all. Reader, someone, please. Let her prevail, please let her prevail here this once. If this thought makes me a traitor, so be it, but please let Pamitha prevail, for she is here wrapped up in all this because of me. The plea trails off and Pamitha remains steadfast, all her attention focused on the Liberation Rite. And as for Pamitha, prepare yourselves, Nightwings, and as for you, Pamitha, I await the outcome of this night, for it soon shall ensure that I may never have to see your smirking countenance again. Hark now, my sisters, to damn what the book says. Advance to strike formation. Prevail here against these wretches, no matter the cost. In disregard for the ways of the Rites, Pamitha Thane has ordered her triumvirate to push further afield, adopting an even more aggressive stance for the remainder of this rite. Shit, I forgot. I am not 100% sure what I'm doing. Okay. I just need to, like, switch to Pamitha immediately. Okay. This is sketchy.
Begone now, Pamitha.
Oh god, go, 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 go. Okay.
There it is. The Nightwings proved their worth. As for their adversaries, they did not.
Why does Volfred get to be in the middle? Is it usually the second
Thus
person you pick in the middle?
the liberation Rite. And thus, the Scribes have chosen. The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free.
I never really noticed.
Absolved of all misdeeds. Return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
Damn you for this, Pamitha. All of this because of you. After all this time, she turns her gaze toward the rest of you. I never thought this day would come. I have all of you to thank for this, for doing this for me. The life that I recall back in the Commonwealth was at times difficult, and I am much older now. I know not what I shall find on my return. However, I know this. If that place is still like the Commonwealth I left so long ago, then I shall strive to make it better, for as long as I retain my strength and breath. You see her smile faintly as she disappears into the shimmer pool, though you still can hear her voice, though faintly now. Farewell then, reader, all of you, for now. Jodariel earned back her freedom. May she return in glory.
Godspeed, Captain Jodariel.
That wraps up cycle 4. I've only been going for about 2 hours.
Scribes are watching from afar.
And I don't have anything else to do tonight.
By their grace, may the cycle of the rites keep turning for as long as possible.
I might do one more cycle, because they get shorter as you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first cycle is like the longest, and it takes
until the turning of the
actually
stars.
Forever.
Farewell.
Well, Pamitha, truly, did you get the best of me again? Know that your actions put our sisters on the other side in even greater peril. Not that you care, of course. Yet I am certain that they shall someday prevail, with or without my aid. To think that I was born to share the blood of someone such as you. But yeah, you get most of your plot stuff out of the way in the first and second cycles. And then I think after the third cycle is when Volfred joins you, and that's when you really stop getting a lot of plot stuff, because the game has to account for him possibly being liberated. You prevailed in the liberation rite against the Essence. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Jodariel, who returned to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. It never grows easier having to say farewell to one of our own. Oh, cheer up already, Volfred. You wonder who, if anyone among you, shall be the next to go. It's Kay. I'm sending Kay next. We have but a few such liberation rights remaining. Exactly how many I do not wish to speculate about as yet, until such time as we can better say for certain. Under no circumstances would I suggest this is ideal. However, it is opportunity enough that our plan may as yet succeed. Oh, we're now at 61%. What did I say? Yeah, you can send anyone home, pretty much, as long as, like, they have enough enlightenment / experience. So after this point, you can send Volfred home, so the game has to kind of, like, acknowledge that he might not be there, so you don't get a lot more plot stuff with him. Although all these setbacks, I fear, Volfred trails off and falls silent. Some of the others exchange looks. They are beginning to understand. With the rites soon ending, everything which Volfred had sought, both on his own for many years, and now with all of you, all of it may have been in vain. The hush spreads to the others. Oh, I'm sending Kay home? Yeah. Because I sent Almer home, Taku Dog. I sent Taku Dog home, and he and Kay kind of have like a cute thing if they end up on the same side, so Kay has to go home. But not to you. Then you proceed to do something that none of them seem to expect. You raise your voice. Oh shit, am I talking? Each of your fellow exiles turns to you, their expressions asking you a question with no easy answer. What are we gonna do? As you meet Kay's gaze, the words for the occasion begin to crystallize in your mind. You're searching to find the right words. All your fellow exiles are lucky. Search for the words to say to your fellow exiles. Oh god, I don't want to pick anything. Your path to freedom is still laid bare for you all. True freedom is not waiting. Reading the comment, I'm just gonna go through. Meanwhile, the stars themselves are shining upon for you. All of what transpired cannot be mere chance. This is like the Mass Effect before we die speech that Shepard has to give every game. You now have a divine duty to uphold. You all stand poised to ensure the world you leave behind for your loved ones, for each other, is a world worth living in. If you can believe any of this, then believe above all in each other. Believe that the plan may yet be achieved. Yeah, at the end of every Mass Effect game, there's always like, we're gonna do a suicide mission, and then Shepard has to like get on the intercom of the Normandy and be like, alright people, we got things to do. Here's my inspiring captain speech. After a brief period of reflection, you share one last sentiment with the group. Let us stand together now and always. Mere distance cannot separate our spirit. The stars have not vanished, they have joined us. Let us bring about the harmony of vision by these scribes. The people of the common will need one. Wow, okay. The stars have not vanished, they have joined us. Then you join the others in silence. Thus you remain together with your thoughts. No one speaks for a time, but then you see them too, then miss the scribes among the stars, how they are watching over us. Thou wouldst dare to change this ancient world, reading one, and yet thy words are tinged with certain truths. Tiso vows to stand with you no matter where your quest shall lead. May long the stars remain alight for you, reader madame. All the while, Volfred remains watching you intently. Then his expression softens and he smiles. You are right, of course, my girl. We are the Nightwings. It is precisely as you said. The stars have not yet vanished. They have joined us. Lead us then, reader, to the end of our quest, into the dawn of the new age for all of our kin. Everyone, for the Nightwings. Everyone responds in kind. They stand with you no matter what. They await the outcome of your vision of the stars, which burn with renewed fury because now the last rites beckon. The stars above now burn with what appears to be a desperate fury. Many more of them than usual. Your path is yours to choose amid a myriad of stars. But yeah, we don't get to rest anymore either. But yeah, at least in Mass Effect you can do like an asshole speech where you're just like, go full Ren Shep and you're just like, hey, dicks, get with the program. Okay, are all of them just there? The stars of the 8 scribes, they shine together now as one. The lone minstrel draws breath as though surprised by what he sees. He backs away and averts his eyes. This is another sign the rites are soon to cease. Few chances yet remain to confront the adversaries you have met during your journey. Who do I want to face next? Accusers, Essence, Tempers. I think I want to do, except Jomer. Jomer can go fuck himself. He's not allowed to shine. I'm guessing it's because we knocked the Fate out of the competition completely. So there's no one to go to that star, but we're gonna go to the Accusers because I don't think I've gotten Lendel's history yet. Your next adversaries are to be the Accusers, led by one called Lendel, whom I believe you met many moons ago. He is a tale I hope shall soon be forgotten. How many more freedom rites do you have left to do? At least 2, I believe. Maybe 3. He then tells you what he knows of your next adversary. Lendel the Liar. The first adversary you confronted in the rites, not long after you took your first steps on the path to freedom. A former constable of the Commonwealth, he gained a reputation for his strict and brutal manner. By any means, he always caught the crook. Once he arrested a civilian who hated him on suspicion of theft of Commonwealth artifacts that had gone missing. Lendel discovered the artifacts himself in the civilian's home. The suspect soon was exiled. Still, he denied the charges even as they cast him downriver. The case was investigated further, though too late. Suspicions turned to Lendel. It turned out he planted the damning evidence himself, so he was exiled in turn. In the downside, he soon became acquainted with the rites, having heard all of this from several people in high places. He asserted himself as the de facto leader of the Accusers. They bent to his aggressive nature and prevailed many times under his watch. Yet each time his chance at liberty arose, the Nightwings either defeated him or simply did not show. At any rate, Lendel shall soon be looking forward to our arrival, I expect. We shall resume our journey come daybreak, but in the meantime, I would advise taking what rest you can. You bid the lone minstrel a good evening. At dawn, you shall take flight again. Onworth, in the words of Trieste Tithys the Blessed Born, the fallen empire of Sar was ruled according to an ancient bloodline thought to be infallible. Our society shall instead be by those who earn the privilege. We the 8, we cannot bear the burden of determining your worth. It shall be determined by your peers and by you yourself. We shall provide a framing through the rites to put you to the test against yourselves, against your kin, against your adversaries. The downside cannot let us all go free, thus freedom to the worthy. As the worthy, your true calling then begins as you return to a society which longs to learn the wisdom you have gained along your path. The worthy shall lead. Can't talk to you yet. Oh, love me. After the liberation of Jodariel, you find the lone minstrel back in the wagon, looking as though no such thing had just occurred this night. You think you see him tilt his head as you approach. Some words of congratulations are in order for this evening. I should think, reader, and so congratulations on prevailing in the liberation rite. Surely Jodariel shall be most grateful, and her safe return to your commonwealth ought benefit the plan in which you all now play a part. As for your adversaries of the Essence, this must have been a bitter loss for them in Pamitha, although they must have known their chance was far from certain. Thus shall we all await the next turn of the cycle of the rites. Celeste and I are to return to our respective duties for the time, as now the Scribesgate is sealed. Just bump my microphone. I await when next we all shall meet. When next you may yet live up to the glory of the Nightwings in the eyes of the 8 scribes, which yet shine down for us. He trails off, then nods to you in his cordial manner, and bids you a good rest of the evening. There's no time now to return to the moonlight alcove as before, as the stars already urged you on. Everyone is ready to make haste for the nest of Trieste. What's this do? The inverted fall of Solium roars into the sky. Somewhere beyond it lies the Commonwealth, beyond your vision and beyond your grasp. Your home is there somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Those who transcend the Shimmer Pool after a liberation rite, the fall shall send them on their way. I suppose that it would be unfair if we could simply fly. Volfred approaches you as you fly above the hidden lair. His hidden lair at the Moonlight Alcove. You cannot help but wonder if he shall ever return there. Or dear Alcove, I've asked my agents to break down the place. It shall soon be gone, if it isn't already. We shall not be returning. We've not time to do so anyway. And with Oralech back among the living now, and no longer fond of me, I dare not think what he would do with it. Unfortunately, hiding places are of little value once they're found. Once all this is over, those of us who do not manage to return, we shall have to find another place to live. To try and live at least. Oh wait, this is where I need to go. Alright, let's see if we can get Pamitha. On Minstrel. Lendel. Okay, I think that's just another one of those, like, friggin' creepy-ass specter things. Beyond our crystal seeks Volfred. That means we can talk to Sandra. My lovely reader comes to me again. To what do I owe the pleasure? Ask her what's on her mind. Why are you doing this? Reaching out to me again like this? I have been abandoned in this blessed rock. In this blasted rock more times than you could count, reader, and each time I have laughed it off. Like so. She laughs. I fear it will be different this time. Before I knew that someone else would come around and pick it up where the previous idiot left off. But now... She scoffs, then falls silent for a time. Well, it seems there may not be a next time after this, if what I am to understand about the stars out there is even half truth. So then, I can anticipate an eternity of utter solitude without even the blasted rites to keep me company. Understand that, while I may be an apparition in a glass to you, I yet retain a shred of self, and do not happily foresee that outcome. And yet, you keep on coming back to me like this. If this is all in service of a torment, then you are most cruel, O lovely reader. Commendably so, I have to say. So then, am I to understand you wish to spend more time with me thus, knowing full well the stars are soon to put an end to this little affair? As if in answer to her question, you feel what seems to be the Beyonder Crystal itself. The Beyonder Crystal seems to be pulling you away. Return to the crystal surface. Stay with Sandra for a while longer. You focus your mind and remain where you are, there with Sandra, in the confines of the Beyonder Crystal, and remain there with her for some time. No words need to be exchanged between the two of you, and in the darkness there, for once, she does not feel alone. Soon enough, however, she bids you to depart. You shall leave those idiots of yours listless if you remain here for too long. Be gone already, and let me know if you have need of me. They? Okay. Give me a scribe trial. Oh, that can be arranged. You need but name for me the one you have in mind. And he's already got the Tailwind Crest. You asked Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Volfred. That fancy talking sap, you mean? I shall be interested to see if he has learned something since we last sparred like this. Then let us bring him forth. Soon Volfred appears in heat of the summons. So it is my turn then, is it? Then let's see what we can do, my girl. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, sap, you answer to me here. As you will, O Sandra the Unseeing. Proper as ever then, though I wonder if you have the wherewithal that you project. Show me then what you can do without the benefit of those whom you would lead. And let us see if you and your lovely reader have reached a thorough understanding as of yet. I might fuck this up, because I am not at all familiar with Volfred. That is not where I wanted to put that, but okay. I'm just gonna go this way. No, what? I kinda... I kind of thought he might be able to, like, dash into that, but I get... Oh, no, 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 no. Get... Move. What are you... That pisses me off. He does not move fast. Okay. Okay. There's one. You guard that. Okay. That was my bad. I would say Volfred is like genuinely probably the hardest for me. Because he doesn't have any like dashing abilities like everyone else. And even with the Tailwind Crest, he kind of sucks. There we go. Is that Saint getting sent home? I am grateful for the privilege of your time, good Sandra. Flattery shall never get you anywhere with me, sap. Nonetheless, your performance was sufficient and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order. To you and your lovely reader. Now, farewell. See, he's sap. I'm lovely reader. So, like... For Jodariel, I'll just bang Sandra. I had not seen that Sandra in some time. She has not changed a bit. But it would seem she left something for us, did she? You received Lou's bow. Volfred's blink ability transports him further than usual. That would be nice. I'll probably upgrade that. Ah, there you are, reader. Shall we get going then? You accompany the lone minstrel on the excursion through the harsh formations of Black Shore, where it seems the stars themselves recently shed some of their splendor. Collecting stardust is a laborious and delicate process, though some find it rather meditative. Okay, this is actually dialogue we've seen before. In time, you've gathered a good supply of the stuff and returned together to rejoin the others. Found a pile of stardust. Thank you. Nest of Trieste. Oh, great. Halt, everyone. I beg you, please forgive my rudeness here. The black wagon has shuddered to a stop en route to the Nest of Trieste. There is some commotion as the lone minstrel motions for everyone to be still. Someone is there along our path ahead. He points into the distance. However, when you scan the horizon, everything is still. You see no sign of whomever the lone minstrel referred to. Still, he indicates caution. Strange. I do not believe I was mistaken. A tense moment passes. Then another. Then the lone minstrel tenses up. Our guest. He is there. You look toward where he signals, and then at last you see the cause of his concern. Oh, I'm guessing this is Oralech. There's no mistaking who it is. Oralech stands there, near motionless, atop some forgotten rock jutting from the thick underbrush, a fair distance away. Wasn't I right, though? Isn't he, like, really hot? He stands directly on the path of your black wagon. Yet he shows no sign of acknowledging the wagon's presence. He appears only to be waiting for something, likely for you all. The lone minstrel gets your attention, quietly. Reader, what do your senses tell you at this time? Oralech may have come with ill intent. Press forward. Back. Hail him. Hail him. There has to be a way to reason with Oralech and bridge differences between him and his former triumvirate. Perhaps he has come to negotiate. Perhaps you are correct. Let us try and make contact with him then as we proceed. You give the signal for the drive imps to start the wagon and head toward him. But just as you reach the point where Oralech once stood, it seems our guest has already departed. Let us remain watchful as we proceed on course. Instead, Oralech is nowhere to be found now. Oh, don't give me that maybe, maybe not stuff. The unnerving encounter causes everyone to fall silent for the remainder of the trip. Your wagon finally arrives at the Nest of Trieste, where there is still no sign of Oralech or your next adversaries for that matter. Your companions organize a quick search about the premises, leaving you to watch the wagon until the rite's commencement. Something is wrong. Someone is here alone with you. Oh, he's just here. He's just in our wagon. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, liberation rights remaining ? I think it'll tell you when it figures it out. Okay. Oralech seems to be examining various objects in the wagon. Whether he has noticed you, you cannot tell. What he is doing here and how he got in unnoticed, you cannot imagine. You watch him go about whatever he is doing, examining all sorts of things you and your fellow exiles gathered on your journey. He shakes his head. All of these trinkets. This wagon. It's most different now. Welcoming, and yet I am unwelcome here, it seems. In my own wagon. He directs his gaze at you, acknowledging your presence for the first time. Step on. Step on me. I don't know if it's picking all that up, but step on me. He directs his gaze at you, acknowledging your presence for the first time. But he's cute. You, a mere shadow. Tell me something. Who are you to them? Say you're their reader, their friend, no one, nothing. You tell Oralech that you have traveled all across the downside with this group and count them as your trusted friends. It is a different group now than in his day. A friend, is it? Beware then, for the Nightwings do not always treat their friends with all due charity. Relay to them a message for me, Shadow. Tell them I shall have my night. He strides right past you toward the door, but then turns to you again once more. I shall have my night. Okay, you didn't have to say it twice. Then Oralech is gone. Oh, that's closed, okay. Several of your companions return as you exit the wagon. You explain what happened. However, none of them saw Oralech. Most concerning, reader, though I'm thankful you are well. Oralech, he always was a peaceful individual, and yet his disposition is much different now. Perhaps we had best inspect the wagon for any signs of tampering in light of these events. You and the others conduct an exhaustive search in and around the Black Wagon for any signs of objects missing or tampered with, as well as signs of damage or foul play. The search yields nothing. No one finds any sign that anything was moved or tampered with. Even the drive imps seem calm. The incident leaves you questioning your own recollections of what happened. You try to clear your mind for the rite, and for the rite is soon now to commence. Spoon bottle. Appreciate you doing business, and you guys be sure to tell your friends. Like, yeah, whatever. That's alright. Though the now familiar surroundings of the Nest of Trieste made preparations faster than before, the stars are already aflame by the time you and the others are gathered. Rite against the Accusers is commencing soon. Please be ready, sir. Indeed, I have confronted the Accusers many times. I believe I know their tricks by now. You wish them all good fortune in turn. Little else is said, and together you watch the celestial harmony in calm and silence and await the Accusers. I love how each, like, triumvirate has, like, their own theme.
The infamous Rita returns, along with her remaining retinue of miscreants. You managed recently to rid yourself of yet another one. Your adversaries, the Accusers, as with you, they must be very desperate for their freedom. They shall not make it any easier from here. So,
You. We are ready for you, Nightwings. Come, Accusers, let us crush them and be done here quickly.
Go on, then.
Alright, we can look at Lendel. Too bad I can't punch or at least slap the voice. I know, right? He gets what's coming to him. Yeah. Crime, corruption, motive, pride. Years exiled 6. Yeah. No spoilers, but yeah. Okay, we are going to bring along Tizo.
Tizo.
Can I upgrade her? I cannot. I'm gonna give him this. And then I'm just gonna dump a bunch of upgrade powder into it. Nope, okay, it's magic. It's already fully upgraded. Hers is fully upgraded. Hers is fully upgraded. His needs upgrades. Now it's fully upgraded. I don't need to buy Stardust anymore. Anyways, my second is going to be Bertrude.
Bertrude.
Because I haven't used her in a while. And then we're gonna do Kay.
Okay.
Just to ensure that I can liberate her.
Very well.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Come then, Nightwings, we are prepared for you.
Commence. A favorable start.
Blast, come Accusers, we cannot let them set us back again. Well, it sucks to suck. Because y'all are getting very set back. Have Tizo fling the orb into the pyre? No. I don't feel like it. I don't. No. I can jump, but I'm just an idiot. Oh, let's see here.
Yes.
Yeah, her talisman is, like, very nice.
You Nightwings keep this up. Such wherewithal.
Yeah, I forgot that she has to, like, charge for a second before she can, like, jump and sprint. It's very annoying. I'm kind of hoping that they'll, like, move. Okay, well, it worked out.
The imp did it. Once more like that, and we are finished.
Oh, shit. My bad. Sorry, Kay. Go! Okay. She was, like, not running.
It is done. Fine, yes, the Nightwings did prevail. Their adversaries must be crying tears of shame. The rite is complete.
Blast, that a decorated constable of the Commonwealth should end up having to consort with fools as these, in these accursed robes and miserable circumstances. Those damn scribes certainly exist, for it is clear they have no love for me or anyone of decent birth and station. Okay, Lendel, you don't have to be classist about it. Tizo hopes that Lendel trips upon his raiments in the dark. Our adversary would appear to be most flustered by his failure.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes.
I gotta use Gilman here soon. He's developing a lot of inspiration.
Until the next Rite. If there even is to be another one.
Okay, Mr. Voice, don't be too dramatic about this. Back at the Blackwagon, you find the lone minstrel examining your fellow exiles after they bested the Accusers with great prowess. I know, right? He's such an asshole. It is plain to you that none of them look well. The lone minstrel notices you there and turns to you. Reader, the fast returning of the cycle of the rites has put a strain on everyone. We have multiple cases of banishment sickness this time. It is fortunate that your other companions are available to conduct the coming rite, because I fear that this group here requires rest. You bid Tizo a swift recovery, and he nods weakly in response. You exchange a look with Kay, who seems exhausted after the last rite. As for Bertrude, it is clear that to you she wishes to be left alone right now. Bertrude, this is like the first rite you've conducted in like a while. Also, I just noticed that she has eyes poking out from under her hand and like in her cape and stuff, so I guess that's why she's calling herself Wee. You leave the lone minstrel to look after them and turn your attention to the stars that remain shining in the dark outside. The stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. Seek now your destination. Tempers, Dissidents. I forget what they're called. Withdrawn. I don't think we've gotten the Withdrawn's history yet, so that's why I picked them. The Withdrawn and Udmildhe have designs upon the rites that have nothing to do with being freegan. What they seek, no one in good conscience could abide. He then reveals what he has learned of her in his designs. Udmildhe, one of the bog dwellers and head of the Withdrawn, a triumvirate more interested in legends of Yslock the Astralborn than in the rites. Her kind was known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow, one day, her research into flammable reagents grew into an obsession with Yslock, despite widely held belief that he is dead or never did exist. But Udmildhe held that Yslock is merely dormant and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then, at last, could Yslock return to his glorious home, and Udmildhe would go with him. When the Commonwealth officials showed up to take Udmildhe in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, a sentence to the downside meant being that much closer to Yslock's resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the Withdrawn stood ready to assist. She speaks in seeming riddles, yet the threat of her intentions I think cannot be dismissed. Let us be on our guard, and therefore let us rest now while we can. You bid Volfred a restful night in kind. It is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. So yeah, basically, she's a cult leader. You're unaccustomed to seeing Bertrude smiling, and yet there she is doing just that. You've soon seen why. You have observed before how her manner seems to soften to a degree it can whenever Volfred is around. She has a thing for him. If only I could have seen their faces then. What was your secret, dare I ask, dear Bertrude? It appears that they are reminiscing about old times in the Commonwealth. Flame-resistant inks, Sandalwood. 'Twas the inks themselves which kept those volumes from being burnt to ash. Flame-resistant inks, of course. The good officers who came to visit, they were so intent on burning all evidence, they did not stop to think the evidence was fireproof. Alas, that they later found a way to burn thy stamping press regardless. Thy written words, they moved us many times, and many others whom we knew there in the southern bogs. No matter, dear Bertrude, what's done is done. At least we made it difficult for them. Is that not so? While introducing some of our fellow citizens to new ideas. Perhaps. My words would not have reached near half as many were it not for you, not to mention how I managed to elude them for another decade or so. I am ever thankful for your sacrifice. Thy thanks shall not be necessary, Sandalwood. Well, you shall have to take them from me anyhow. Thank you, Bertrude, for helping to fulfill a modest author's dreams. What good's a stamping press without good inks? No good at all. They exchange a laugh at this, but then... Even still, and through this new ordeal thou hast no love for us? Is that not so? Bertrude. He does not like her back. Nay, we understand full well thou needs not further explain themselves. There are different kinds of love, Bertrude. On that account thou hast nothing to teach us, Sandalwood. They each remain silent for a time. Our hearts, they cannot be controlled, Bertrude. Blasted things they are, they act well on their own. He puts away his pipe. I am blessed to have you in my life, back in the Commonwealth, here, and here as well. I mean that, although I know that is not enough. At first, Bertrude does not seem to acknowledge this in any way, but then... Nay, Sandalwood, it is enough. It is enough. She departs without awaiting a response, brushing past you as she goes. Volfred soon turns away as well, politely bidding you a good evening. The two old friends have evidently managed their way past certain tensions in their long-standing relationship. They rather seem... draw certain strength from one another. Gonna talk to her? No. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Oh god. The forbidding cairn of Houb lies above. Not many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear that the listless remains of Shaq's 6 shoulders shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through to flagging hands. The Bone Titan, slain by the Scribe Houb the Swallow. None dared approach the withered fiend whose plague had spread half across the valley. You know of its true significance as we do, although your adversaries to Withdrawn should be on their way here now. Soon you shall confront them once again. I saw Pamitha. Yep, talking to Pamitha. Hopefully she'll give us her history. Cough it up, bird. Something about the dusty wastes of Lickstand gives Pamitha a strong intuition to explore the area. Together you set out to take a look. I'll tag along, I could use some air. There seems to be nothing in particular in the vicinity, but then Pamitha raises her voice. Just a moment, reader darling. I think I found us something. The object in question is lodged deep in the ground and bears the mark of the Rite. You sense you may be able to secure its contents, but the mystic wards will not be easy to undo. Let's attempt to open it, why not? You focus all your mental faculties on the mystic wards, sealing the box's contents. Soon you are left exhausted, but the box's lid unfastens. Inside it is a talisman, placed there perhaps by one of your predecessors in the rites from ages past. Star Splinter. When preparing to fling the ore, the bearer's charge-up speed increases by 40%. Oh, that's nice. It's getting sold, but that's nice. You find Pamitha by herself again, though her expression has grown darker than her custom. Leave me be, would you, reader darling? Trying to get some good and proper moping done here, and you're distracting me. Leave me be, reader. Just leave me be, reader. Just leave me be. Don't want to know what's lurking in my heart or mind. What you'll find there isn't pretty. Yet something about her thought process is different to you now. You know that, with her conditioning, she can resist your scrutiny, but now her thoughts are laid bare to you. What she's thinking. Pamitha seems to be inviting you into her thoughts. You remain there in that lonesome space with her. What is it going to take, I wonder, Pamitha? Shall I just go ahead and kill them all? That would be proof enough, perhaps, about my loyalties to you and our sisters. Perhaps I ought to start with this one right in front of me. Bond between you severs as Pamitha opens her eyes and stares at you. Then she smiles sweetly and gives a gentle laugh. You see, reader darling, my thoughts are rather cumbersome at times. But do not fear, I have them very well under control. Still, thoughts being the loathsome thing they are, I nonetheless cannot fully suppress them. She exhales and looks askance. Never seen that word before. You know by now why I'm in this mess with all of you. You could say I lack Pamitha's sense of commitment, her zeal. She lives only to see your nation overthrown, or something worse if she could have her way. Centuries of conflict can be quite emboldening in that way, especially when one's sister's leading cause of death is Commonwealth forged steel, wielded with the utmost of mercy, of course. Well, I had little patience for the senselessness of it myself, become a bit of a pariah, I suppose. I knew Pamitha was going to get herself and others killed someday, so when she was to fly out on this one big mission of hers, I had other arrangements made. But after she was caught, your people did not exactly uphold their end of the bargain. I knew there were such risks, of course, and yet a chance is still a chance. Pamitha was clipped and cast down, a mercy they called it. I did not see it that way, and in my growing protests of her treatment, I was soon enough to follow. She follows silent for a while. I haven't yet decided if I entirely regret my actions, but I do seek Pamitha's forgiveness, and I wish that she could see my thoughts for what they are, as it seems you can. Then she might realize our nation's people have much more in common than she knows. Sometimes I wonder which of them is the stupider. She brushes past you and out of the wagon for now. Okay, we got Pamitha's history. So crime, conspiracy, motive, insurrection, years exiled for. She was a Talon ace of the High Wing remnants who possessed the talent of her sisters, but not their single-minded zeal. She grew weary of the fighting and decided she would put an end to it. Thus, when a critical battle approached, the Commonwealth was waiting, and her own blood sister was among the harps captured and clipped. She was more guilt-stricken by this turn than she expected. When she attempted to contact her blood sister in exile, she was told that she could seek her firsthand and was exiled in turn. Well, so I guess we're using Sir Gilman, Pamitha, and Volfred for the next rite, because nobody else will do it. So now we have everyone's history.
You are nothing, reader.
Okay, fuck you too.
Nothing but a mindless cripple.
Wow.
Your every action is a stain upon the legacy of the 8 scribes.
Tell me how you really feel.
Been a long-held secret to keep out those such as you.
Wow. Okay. Cut toxic people out of your life, kids. You wake from a little sleep you managed this past night. Once more, the voice tormented you within your dreams. You attempt to rid your memory of it. If the voice truly is that of Archjustice Androbles the Ninth himself, as Volfred indicated, then none of you are likely to receive too warm a welcome should you regain your freedom. Right? Slap that stupid star off his forehead. Here we go. Here in the rocky pathways of Jomar Valley, you encounter a messenger imp come deliver news and rumors from the other side. The news this time pertains to Jodariel, whom you liberated at the fall of Solium. You learn Jodariel's past transgressions have all been forgiven. She was to be reinstated on the Blood Border on the presumption that she wanted her old status back. In fact, she was offered an especially prestigious leadership position in the First Vale, for a demon such as she could not be seen in the streets. An elite Blood Border platoon, shrouded in secrecy other than the famous result of its operations. The Commonwealth's veiled leaders always were surrounded by sentinels in similar garb. But she refused the gesture, rather bluntly, the report suggests. Instead, she sought Volfred's agents, as well as several of her former fostered sons and daughters, and so the ranks of the revolution grow stronger. The last part of the messenger imp's news must have been damaged in transit, though it appears to be in Jodariel's own words. All you can tell is that it says, "Oh wait." You thank the messenger imp for relaying this information. Your companions are excited to discuss the news. Tizo is fired up about the news of Jodariel's return to the Commonwealth. She is an inspiration to us all, or to this knight, she is at least. Wonder what the rest of her message said. Having someone of Jodariel's will and stature with us on the other side shall pave the way toward a brighter future. We can envision it, a demon such as she set loose within the Commonwealth. Do you think she still has her horns now that she's back up there? The news of Jodariel's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Page revealed. The Cairn of Hope, in the words of Luce Glory and 100 Minds the Scholar. How ironic that the shattered remnants of the bone titan Shax's 6 shoulders, which once stood vigilant over the archway into flagging hands, remain now as forbidding as when the horrid monster still possessed unnatural life. After little Haub dispatched the bone titan in a feat of ingenuity, Shax's pieces fell onto the valley floor, forming a set of standing stones, which Haub marked. Further traces of the titan's glacial blood coagulated into perfect frozen drops, which still shimmer in the darkness. 6 Shoulders seems to start reanimating when the stars above him dance a certain way. Paint the sigil then in the shining light. Oh, we also got a xylophone. Xylobones. Would that we all could become musical instruments ere our bones turn to dust. The puns.
Hissing flies. Right, Ice. Right, Ice. Velotion time.
You guys have a good day out there. Yep. Commence. The mood is more dour than usual as you make your preparations for the coming rite. A hush has fallen over your fellow exiles, and a sense of dread hangs in the air. At least one of your companions is unfazed. Oh, we sense the influence of one of our own. She is nearby, her mind, corrupted, calls out, screaming. Canst thou hear it, perhaps? She speaks of Witch Udmildhe, the adversary whom you expect to face in this night. The witch, she doth revere an ancient god undying and unyielding on this land and on her consciousness. We may attempt an exorcism here, for the conditions are unique, and she may not be expecting us to be abetting me. However, 'tis a risk upon her mind and my own, although a worthwhile risk perhaps. Bertrude seems to think that Udmildhe can be weakened somehow through the coming rite. Then the stars above begin to shimmer with their strange light, except I don't think I can use Udmildhe because she's, like, sick. There, the star of Eastlock, our adversary, worships it, and whom it represents. Fixate upon that star reading one, if thou so darest invoke its power. Do so in our adversary Udmildhe, she shall be emboldened, but also left vulnerable to our own sorceries. We may yet limit her ambitions thus. Okay. I actually might do this, because I've never seen this before. More cunning and quicker to react. If we lose, we can always reset.
Eastlock Astralborn.
Hopefully we don't die. It's just this once. It's fine. We'll be fine.
Rita, I am still very cross with you, you know.
Yeah, we know.
To think I saw in you
Called me a fucking
worthy
cripple.
heir, not just to the legacy of the Nightwings, but to the future of the Commonwealth. That traitor Volfred. Only a fool would be seduced by his audacious promises and his dangerous ideas.
And how he doesn't insult me?
Dear Rita, would make you a fool. I have no choice but to explain it thus, so even you could understand. Now for this blasted rite. Some of us still have our duties to uphold.
This motherfucker. what we have here, ye return once more unto our presence. We sense something among ye. Who? Bertrude slithers forth and gazes at her adversary. Thou maggot, we should have known. But Bertrude does not respond. Ye Nightwings, that one shall be of little benefit to ye. That one's sorceries are mere pittance to the overwhelming might of ye Sluck. Soon ye shall see. Reading 1. Thou invokest the star of Yislak, so then beware. For our sorcery shall Udmildhe be cast into a hopeless doubt about her faith upon her god. It shall be done if we prevail, but only if. Our own mind shall perhaps be forfeit otherwise. It seems as though the outcome of this rite, either Udmildhe shall be permanently weakened, or Bertrude shall instead. Interesting.
Choose now your band of traitors.
I know, right? Like... Okay. Yeah. Crime, paganism, mode of madness, years exiled, 52. So I think she's been down here the longest. Prone, pyromancer, yeah. Okay, Gilman.
Sir Gilman.
Oh, he's so cute. Glorious.
Volfred. Now.
Just another nonsense-spouting idiot standing in our way, if you ask me. Let's get her. Now then, Nightwings, ye wish to mock Yislak? Ye in your infinite foolishness shall be among the first to suffer. Supper. Alright, let's roll.
Now begin.
I missed. That was just me being dumb. Okay. It's fine. We're fine.
A stroke of luck is all. Oof.
It did say they would be harder, didn't it? No.
Stand not in glory's path.
Go to Pamitha.
Quite the close call there, no?
Did it have to fly that far? Okay.
Flame is stricken.
Okay.
Volfred banished.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, without anyone being banished? Well, that wasn't gonna happen.
Her wings have served her through.
Okay. That's like 2 more hits. Ye wretched ones. Yislak, art thou even listening to us? Dost thou yet live? We believe in thee. Thou must be out there, lest our purpose for existence be for naught. Such pain we shall inflict upon ye for this insolence. The scribes cannot protect you, and their ancient tests shall all be for naught. Okay, Gilman. We got this. We're gonna do this together. Oh, I didn't even see him. Okay.
Now go on just once more. And it is
Okay.
done.
We're never turning a Titan Star on again.
Prevail. Most excellently done this time, I must admit.
Are you trying to play nice now? How can this be? How can this be? Yislak, answer us! Yislak, Yislak. Which Udmildhe continues with her screaming, having been defeated in the rite. You observe Bertrude there, fixed in a meditative pose. There, Udmildhe, relent, relent. Thy god has not abandoned thee, because thy god is dead. Thy god is dead. Pray to him all thou likest, yet it shall do thee no good. As Bertrude recedes into the shadows, Udmildhe slumps down, staring at nothing before her. Impossible. This cannot be. Answer us. Answer us. Udmildhe suffered -5 hope permanently. May the scribes have mercy.
There is much to learn from this experience.
Mercy.
Now go and wallow in the downside for a while.
Who does this guy think he is? So we either have one more Rite or a Liberation Rite next. There proves little time for rest as the Black Wagon, after your fellow exiles, secured victory over the Withdrawn in a rather one-sided contest. Those afflicted with banishment sickness seem to be doing better at least, and express gratitude to Sir Gilman, Volfred, and Pamitha for their efforts. Just then the lone minstrel appears before you. No words escape his lips. You can guess the full well that he has come to indicate to you and follow him out into the darkness, whatever. The stars above seem to be few and fading, yet one still shines, defiant. Yeah, we're going to do a liberation right now. Yeah, there's also fewer, like, rites between the liberation rites as you go on. Like, initially there's, like, 7 or something. 7 or 8. And then, I think the next one is 4, and then 3, and then I think everything after this is 2. So there's only 2 normal rites per liberation rite, and I guess we're facing the Dissidents. You notice the lone minstrel is standing there with you regarding the night sky. The gate guardian and I, we have paid witness to the liberation rites upon the fall of Solium for a long time. We have seen so much. And so I'm a bit taken aback, is all, to see something which I have never seen. You look upon the stars together for a while, then I wish for you good fortune and the wisdom of the scribes on your ascent. The lone minstrel leaves you there alone under the night. It has grown very late and you need rest. The Black Wagon shall have to take flight again come morning. Boy. Oh, okay. I guess that this section becomes available when you start using the Titan stars, so we're not going to get all of them. The Greater Titans, in the words of Under King Horus, the Sea Sojourner. The stars shine strange beneath the sea. This one dared rise from the waters so that he could see them plain, the burning essences of those who came before. Our lives are but a quest to join the stars. This one longed to be the brightest. But in the downside, this one met those whose own stars shall doubtless burn at least as hot. Together we achieved great deeds. You may have seen some evidence of it, the remains of the Greater Titans, which once darkened the Stark land, but in our kinship was the strength to conquer them. It is this one's humble charge to chronicle those deeds, and may the Titan stars never stain the sky during your time. Well, too late for that. Yeastlock the Astralborn. The foul name of the Star Titan is written here but once. Do not invoke it lest you aid its reawakening. It sups upon despair and fear and doubt, and lands such as our own. 'Twas our mighty mistress Melith who tracked the Astralborn monstrosity within its loathsome pit, where it lay nursing wounds sustained from traveling across the stars in search of simple prey. The wicked Astralborn could drive a lesser creature to the brink of sanity with a mere passing glance, but not Melith. She cast upon the fiend 100 words of binding, each one more binding than the last. With the creature's incandescent skin, we bound this book, and bound ourselves unto the stars. Oh, that's not what I want to click. I want to click on this. Okay. Me opening the Beyonder Crystal so many times is going to be a pain when I'm doing the chapters for YouTube, because, like, I usually, like, look to see when I call up Sandra, and then that's what I put the chapter in, but I keep calling her up so much. Continue the journey. And of course we're at, like, the southernmost point, and we have to go back to the northernmost point of the map, so Are we there yet? 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 Almost. There we go. Something appears different now about the sacred mountain west of here. The lands near the Emperor's Ascent and Emperor's Fall seem ashen. On the other hand, the once precarious regions below, which you know as Temple High Road and Temple Cistern, seem swept clean by the elements. First of two paths leading to the mountain summit. Second of two paths, okay. Flo and Minstrel observes all this alongside you. Inclement weather we have lately seen, Reader Madame. We ought to be able to make a landing closer to the Scribesgate now. Then I suppose this means we soon shall see Celeste once more. Then I shall go tell everyone to prepare for landing. And then we can talk to Pamitha, or we can talk to Volfred. I'll talk to him. You arrive once more among the sheer cliffs of Mount Allodale. It appears that Barker and the Dissidents have already arrived along the other route. With some time to spare after having landed, you join Pamitha on a brief expedition to the monument of Jomer Menymane. Why bother Pamitha? With any part of this, they're using you, same as you're using them, you know. But you're not using them. You're not using them. You're not using them. You're there because you want to be. You're there because you want to be. You return to the wagon once she's finished paying her respects. You have occasion once more to pursue your vocations. Who can we talk to? Pamitha. Pamitha is staring out the window as you approach. I miss flying, reader darling. Take it from me, it feels as good as you'd expect. It's not enough for those Commonwealth brutes to cast us down here. If they can get their fingers on us, they make sure we never fly again as we once did. All while calling it an act of mercy. Let me ask you something, You've learned a thing or two. What have your studies taught you of my kind? Violence they have caused, they have suffered, share a common ancestor. Let's say this. You understand that long ago there was only one tribe. They flew together and conquered the known world, but some of their descendants were born different. Okay. The wingless ones had little choice but to tend the land with their hands of flesh. Over time, the wingless were disavowed, abandoned. It was said that they were born under dark stars. In time, they formed the Empire, and they fought back. Not all the winged and the wingless were at odds, and famous harps such as St. Trieste Tithys proved kinship could be possible. Nonetheless, old hatreds are not easily assuaged. That is fairly accurate to our account of things. So in a manner, you yourself are a sister to me. My kind certainly aren't known for their good sense of humor, I can tell you that. My little tongue got me into no small amount of difficulty till I learned to keep it well under control. The mountains I come from, the views there certainly are something, but there's a bleakness to it too, being surrounded by only by those consumed by the desire to avenge. We're very proud like that, everybody vying to be the strongest, to kill the most of you. That way we might just get a shot with the prince, continue the line if he even exists. Prince, your understanding is that the males of the harp are all gone, though perhaps one remains. They mate as poisoned spiders do, and would slay each other in their sleep. The Archjustice Androbal's the 9th. Imagine that being the best case scenario, darling. She shakes her head. Anyway, I was just thinking I rather enjoy the traveling we've done. The change of scenery does me some good. Perhaps I'll stick to wandering after all this. In fact, I have a fancy for some wandering right now, if you'll excuse me. She heads out of the wagon into the sheer cliffs of Mount Allodale. We're gonna make absolutely sure that Kay can go. Got that upgrade just in time to send her home. Again, you stand before Scribesgate, where the gate guardian regards you all above an archway carved from stone. The exiles of the Nightwings, you must know by now, once the stars no longer shine, the Rite shall cease. For now, step forth. Except for you, Tariq, you stay right there. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared. And as for me, you shall not blaspheme under the gate again. Do we understand each other, Tariq? Aye, Celeste. I apologize for my behavior before. I shall adhere more strictly to my duties. Be sure of it. Now each of you, come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing the Scribe's Gate. One by one, your companions cross the gate until it is your time to do so, and you follow them in turn. The Gate Guardian regards you all, then waves you through toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Am I free to accompany them, Celeste, or shall I remain here? She looks at him a while. You are free to accompany them, Tariq. As you will, Celeste, until we meet upon the summit then.
Easy fries.
On a potential sale? I mean, I'm not buying anything else from him, but...
Poppy Figgy Tuesday.
You didn't get anything. I gave you something and you paid me. Okay. Commence the liberation, right? Once more the time has come for the liberation rite. Where one among you can go free if you prevail. Freedom is likewise at stake for your adversaries, the Dissidents. As your companions gather under the fall, awaiting the commencement of this vital rite, the lone minstrel finds you and regards you in his calm fashion. Night is falling. These moments prior to each commencement, I must admit they gave me pause, knowing so much is at stake during the trial that is to come. Tell me something, would you, reader, to ease the waiting for us both? I have traveled far and wide, even beyond these lands. However, the Commonwealth, I know only through word and song. I sometimes think on what life would be like out there. If you were not ensnared within this place and free to roam your country, what would you have done with your days and years rather than striving here under the stars? And in the land, sails across seas, retired to the outskirts, fought for freedom. Retired. You long to find some solitude out there, though of a different sort than all the solitude available in such abundance in the downside here. You would have lived out your days in peace beyond the bustle of the Commonwealth and in a manner closer to the olden times. Peace be with you then, reader. Whatever it is your travel shall take you in this life or the next. Just then the lone minstrel looks forth and you see that it is time. The stars above, though faint, begin to burn. Let's make sure this is not activated.
The stars that yet remain aflame align once more over the sacred fall of Solium. 'Twas here that the 8 scribes ordained the glorious tradition in which you now participate. The glorious tradition which you and that instigator Volfred seek to undermine. It is my sincerest hope your adversaries in this liberation rite achieve instead what they desire.
God, this guy
May
can
the
go fuck
Dissidents
himself.
soon douse those flames of yours. Let us get on with the proceedings then.
The Pyre's burn in each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur, the Pyre's burn in each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the Dissidents, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Sequel to Pyre, but it's just you smacking the voice around. Barker bursts out from some hidden corner laughing as he paws at his mask. A real pleasure to be here, mates truly. Barker Ashpaws. Call me Barker though, alright? By the by. It was a real pisser getting here, you know. Begging your pardon, Barker Ashpaws? You thusly speak upon the summit of the sacred mountain? Oh my, so terribly sorry to offend you there, lassie. I forgot we got the stars above up there to make me watch my language. Though, let's get one thing straight, lassie. I don't give a bother for you, for your sacred mountain, so you take it and you shove it. Me and my pack, we're just here for the laughs. You got that? The other side ain't any better than this one. We ain't interested in your freedom. But just the same, we're gonna get it. Take it from those wee little babies there, so antsy for it. Hear that, you Nightwings? You better put up a good fight here. I ain't gonna be happy, understand? And he shoves his mask back on. Right, come on then, let's hurry up and get this damn thing started. Nightwings, on whose behalf shall you conduct this liberation rite? Choose quickly. May you heed your heart in making your choice, reader. I trust you are prepared to play the hymns with me, Tariq? Always, Celeste.
Whom do you endeavor to return?
Oh, we could pick Pamitha here too, but we're definitely doing K.
K. Who shall stand with her?
Let's bring... Udmildhe, or Bertrude. Udmildhe. And Tizo.
Tizo. It is done.
Alright then, mates, no more waiting, no more holding back. Let's rip them to shreds. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Commence.
Oh god. I love the little noises he makes. What in the... Alright, mate, something's gone right funny with that orb, as I can tell. Better laugh it up while we still can, aye? Indeed, something strange seems to have happened to the celestial orb. It shudders now as though possessed of the same chaotic power as your adversaries. I don't know what that actually does, so don't ask me.
Is at last. The Nightwings proved their worth. Their adversaries they defeated utterly. Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus the Scribes have chosen. The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory.
What do we have left?
In the Commonwealth.
We have Tizo, Volfred,
adversary,
Bertrude,
and all others shall
Gilman,
remain
Pamitha.
to carry out their rightful sentences.
5. Oh, what's Kay's history? Nothing. She literally didn't do anything. Basically, she was like talking about the Scribes, right? And she was like homeless or something, and like the Commonwealth just like saw her and were like, yeah, she's crazy and no one is like taking care of her, so we'll just fucking cast her into the downside. What a joke here. Here I was thinking we were gonna make him cry after all this. Come on, mates, I've right had it with this stuck-up place, so let's get out of here already, aye? Yeah. I can go home? I think this means I can go home. She shuts her eyes. By the scribes, by the scribes. But what will happen now to you? To all of you? Can you not come with me? No, they say not yet. The scribes, they say not yet, although I think your time will come. Your time will come, and I will wait for you because I don't have friends back home. At least, I didn't used to, so I want you to come join me there, okay? But now the scribes are calling to me, so goodbye. She falls into the shimmer pool and she's gone. Goodbye, and please, oh scribes, watch over them, okay? Kay earned back her freedom. May she return in glory.
Godspeed, moon-touched one. Perhaps the scribes are watching even now. Watching as their glorious tradition draws to a close.
I want to say that the last rite happens when you have 4 exiles left if you're liberating everyone. And I didn't liberate everyone, so we have 5. So this next cycle might be the last cycle. A hidden power, terrible unbridled fury seems to have awakened within Tizo. All in all, he seems very enthusiastic about it. Who are you gonna free next? Probably Pamitha.
Now, take your execrable companions someplace else.
Execrable. Interesting. But yeah, that last cycle was super short. Like, we only took like... I think we started it at like 2 hours. You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the Dissidents in the Liberation Rite. A fortuitous result. Tizo is pleased that Kay is finally free. You succeeded in liberating Kay, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. Our plan approaches a key turning point. Let us ensure it soon comes to fruition. Not only for ourselves here, but for our companions and our loved ones in the Commonwealth. Oh no, we have a 72% chance of success. But we have little time now for reflection into this. Look yonder, reader. The stars demand we go already. Let us help them usher in the end of all this. You turn your attention to the glimmer of the stars. Their current rate of disappearance suggests another liberation rite shall be coming very soon. Maybe this isn't the last one. Either this cycle or the next cycle is the last cycle. This still says question mark, though. Who we want to face? Kaelmer. Goal. I'm gonna go with these guys because I don't know if we've gotten their backstory. I am gonna stop the stream after this though. This is getting late. Now the stars bid you to return to the Isle of Kaelmer, where you shall stand against the Pyre Hearts once again. Your adversary, Sir Deluge, likely knows the cycle of the rites is drawing to a close. His last remaining chance to earn the favor of the scribes and then regain his freedom likely hinges on the outcome of this next rite. The cycle of the rites is soon to end. The exiles of the downside striving to be free. Your adversaries, your companions, even you yourself are running out of time. Okay, let's read the book. This book cannot, on history. This book cannot accompany you if you should earn your freedom. It is to remain here for your successors, for it is bound together inextricably with us. There's no sorcery, however, to prohibit you from spreading forth its teachings. We charge you to go forth and share what you have learned along your path. Reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Transcend its bounded limitations, for it cannot be transcribed. Any such attempt shall fail. Beware of those who would dare to read it on the other side. Under their guise of seeking wisdom may yet lurk a much darker desire to undo that which we strive to do. I thought it said I got another page somewhere. I guess not. Looking at Doctor. Following Kay's liberation, the lone minstrel has returned to the wagon and stands as though nothing happened here last night. Or this night. But yeah, this is why we start talking more with him instead of Volfred, because, like, Volfred could be liberated. Ow. Just, like, yanked my headphones off my ears. He tilts his head a bit as you approach. Once more, the Nightwings have prevailed in the liberation rite under your mindfulness, reader. A commendable achievement. Surely Kay shall live out her days in gratitude to you and your companion. Perhaps she may now seek Jodariel there in your commonwealth. I should think Jodariel would have liked to witness what took place this night. I trust that together they shall make a formidable difference to the plan which all of you endeavor to achieve. Now, for the time, Celeste and I are to return to our respective stations. We all await the next turn of the cycle of the rites. May you prevail once more when next we traverse the Scribesgate. Until then, reader, rest well under the stars. He nods and leaves you to recover after a long night. Okay, and that's gonna do it. So, thank you for watching. We completed the 4th and 5th cycles, which now means that we're gonna start on the 6th cycle and possibly do the 7th cycle, which might be the last one, I'm not sure. Anyways, thank y'all for coming, and hopefully I will see y'all on Saturday for Hades.